Perfect. Perfect. Hey, Callie. All right. So just to give y'all a heads up, I would be dramatic and wipe all my makeup off right before we started today because I hated it, but that's just me. So I do not look as fabulous as I do on this lovely picture here, but that's okay because if you are here tonight, obviously, let me move this chat over here because I want to see the chat lit up. But if you are here tonight, it is because you obviously signed up for a reason, okay? You signed up to learn exactly what you need to do to grow your stagnant beauty brand and actually dominate your market online without social media burnout, even if you have a small following, okay? Even if you have a small following. So again, if you're here tonight, obviously that is what you showed up for. So let's get into it. I like to do a little icebreaker, warm us up, get us started, because let me tell y'all, I'm going in tonight, okay? I'm giving it all I got. I'm keeping it real, honest, raw with y'all. I may cuss a little bit because I'm passionate about it. So just forgive me, charge it to my head and not my heart, because that's how serious I take this, okay? Because I want you all to win. I want you all to leave here feeling like you are valuable. So drop in the chat where you are watching from. I see Charlotte. I see Rhode Island in the house. I see Mississippi. I'm a country girl from Mississippi too. So y'all might hear it in my accent. South Carolina, Florida. Okay. Okay, we got a good mix in here. I see people still logging in. Some more Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi. Looks like the numbers is slowly going up. All right, go ahead. Okay, we got Pearl, Mississippi, Florida, South Carolina. Okay, Rhode Island. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, just to give y'all a heads up, I consider myself a Calisippian, and now you know you're like, what's a Calisippian? Okay, Texas. I am originally from California, but I have lived in Mississippi. I grew up a little bit in Mississippi, and I've kind of bounced all over. So I am a Southern girl through and through, as you might can hear in my accent. So again, just to give y'all a warning and a heads up, I get passionate about this stuff. So if it sounds like I'm fussing, I'm really not fussing. It's just I take it that serious. So if you're just joining, go ahead and drop in the chat where you're watching from, okay? But again, I'm just going to be real and just keep it all the way real with y'all tonight, okay? So let's go ahead and get started because obviously, again, y'all came here for a reason. Let me introduce myself, okay? I am Fatima Barnes, okay? And I help stagnant beauty brands grow, get paid premium, relaunch, and dominate sales online without social media burnout. As you can see, I've been featured in multiple media outlets, but I'm not really necessarily here completely to talk about myself all the way tonight. So I just wanted to introduce myself if I do not know you. Okay, I see Memphis in the house. I see two Memphis. Okay. We got two from Memphis. I'm looking at people steady dropping stuff in the comments. Okay, so let's get started. Here are the rules tonight. We got to go over some housekeeping. I got to establish some housekeeping and some ground rules before we get started. One, I want you guys to be engaged, which you guys are already doing a good job of that so far, okay? Be engaged. Take plenty of notes because after the replay is gone, it's gone, okay? So take plenty of notes. Eliminate distractions as best you can. Jot down your questions for the Q&A. Now, you will, if you have questions throughout, go ahead and there's a Q&A section. Go ahead and drop them in the Q&A chat, okay? That is so super important because that way when we do Q&A, I can answer your question and I can actually see it, because if you leave it in the chat, it's going to get lost and I'm not going to be able to see it. My assistant on here, her name is Kira. So if you see Kira in the chat, I think y'all can add her if y'all have questions or something comes up that we need to be aware of and all of that good stuff. Okay. So let me make sure I'm still sharing the screen. Okay. So Kira is who you will reach out to for those questions. But again, drop your questions about any of the content tonight in the Q&A. Okay. And of course, be respectful. I don't like drama. I know y'all don't like drama. If you're here, So we're not going to have that. We're going to keep it real respectful and all of that. Okay. Now, I do have some giveaways because I love a good giveaway. So if you are here tonight and at any point you feel like you are enjoying yourself, okay, go ahead, take a pic or a selfie. It doesn't even have to be a selfie. You can take a pic of you looking at your notes, whatever. I really don't care. Tag us. And tonight we will choose one lucky winner who will get a free one-on-one Q&A coaching call with me, directly, valued at $375. Okay. But then I decided to take the giveaway up a notch because that's just me and I'm extra. And I know my team said I was crazy for doing this, but I just got to do it. I decided, okay, of course, to stick around, you got to stick around to the end, but I decided to qualify, for the call, you got to stick around to the end, but I decided to take it up a notch and do another grand prize. And this prize is for one lucky winner who will get a full scholarship into one of my programs, okay? A full scholarship. So if you are excited about that, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for me and let me know. Let me know if that is exciting because I decided to take it up a notch. Again, my clients, my team said, you really gonna do this? And I said, yes, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do this, okay? So we'll talk about the details and all of that for those who win or whatever, but just know that, again, somebody's going to win. So if I see a lot of ones in the chat, so that's good. All right. So I know y'all didn't come here for all of that. Let's really get into it tonight. Okay. If you are here tonight, I think I pretty much know you pretty well. I even if I don't know you, I know you pretty well if you're here, right? So if you're here, I can put you into 3 different categories. Okay. So we're going to talk about these. I'm going to break these categories down and we're going to go from there. So if you're here, you may be Too Much Tasha. Now, who is Too Much Tasha? Too Much Tasha is the one who posts all day on social media trying to sell. She's probably attempted to relaunch and rebrand 50 million times, keep redoing her website and all of these different things, thinking she's going to now get more sales. She's going to every single pop-up shop possible, again, thinking that's going to get her visibility and get her more sales. Promoting all day long in Facebook groups, trying to grow her following, doing follow trains, all in these groups. If you follow me, I follow you back. Trying to hire 50 million brand ambassadors, and I don't mean that number literally, inboxing 30 influencers a day, trying to get them to promote their products. Too Much Tasha is mostly focused on what I call vanity metrics. And vanity metrics is the metrics that absolutely have nothing to do with the success of your business. They just look good and people get caught up in it, okay? And usually that refers to social media. So that's Too Much Tasha. We also then now have Slaying Stacy. Now, Slaying Stacy is probably the one who owns a service-based beauty business. She's doing fairly well, but desires to have to get from behind the chair, wants to start scaling and building off their expertise with their own products, or they already have their own products, but they're mostly only selling to clients with little to no orders, okay? With little to no online orders, my bad. Okay, so they desire something more passive and desire freedom to really begin building a brand to really help them do so. They don't have time to post content on social media on a regular basis and push their products out there because their service-based beauty business has most of their energy. They really know, they understand the service-based side, but they struggle on the e-commerce side, which is selling their own products, okay? So that's Slaying Stacy. Now we also have Passionate Patricia. She's the one that is super vested into, the craftsmanships of her products. She's very passionate about her products. It's her everything. But she isn't well versed on the business side. She's invested into learning maybe how to create her products or how to, find the right product, and has really focused on that side of the business. And she posts on social media because she feels like she knows she's supposed to, but her goal is to really make an impact with her brand, but she's just confused as to how to make it happen. She's so passionate about it. This is something that she wants to do full time one day. But again, just doesn't know what to do to get started. So which one are you? Drop it in the chat and let me know. Maybe you're a mixture of the two. Maybe you're a mixture of all three. Maybe you identify with one more than the other. Go ahead and drop in the chat for me which one you identify with more. Are you Tasha, Patricia, or Stacy? Are you too much Tasha? I see one Patricia. I see a combination. Passionate Patricia all day. Okay, I see a lot of Patricias. A mix of Tasha and a mix of Tasha and Patricia is very, very common. Passionate Patricia, too much Tasha. Yes, too much Tasha is probably the most common one that I see. A little Tasha. Okay, so we got Patricia with a little Tasha. Patricia and Tasha are by far the most common ones that I see in here tonight. Okay, and so I get it. I've probably been all three at one. Well, I haven't been slaying Stacy, but I've definitely been passionate Patricia and too much Tasha all at the same time. Somebody put Stacy, Patricia. Yes, Stacy and Patricia, I can see that. I can see that being a mix as well. Okay, good. So we got a good mix in here, and it's okay because I have everything that you're going to learn tonight is definitely going to help you with where you're at and definitely give you clarity and understanding. Okay. So regardless of which group that you identify with, I know a few things about you, right? It's clear that you have not been mastering getting consistent sales online if you're here tonight. You desire to build a long-lasting, sustainable brand. Okay. You desire freedom. You want to build a solid business model that won't burn you out and that you won't have to resent it, because we don't go into business to then be tied down to a business and then resent that then business that we wanted to build, right? You want to start getting paid premium, right? You want to start getting paid what you're worth. You want clarity, and you desire a roadmap and step-by-step support, okay? You want to learn how to properly leverage your social media for money. Does that sound like any of you guys tonight? Let me know if I'm right. Put a 1 in the chat if any of that is you. If that is your angle, right? If that's the goal, you want that freedom, you want to start getting paid premium, you want a solid business model, all of the above. Exactly. I know, I told y'all, I know y'all if y'all here, right? I know you if you're here, right? Okay, good. So I also know one thing. I know you're super tired of these master classes where someone talks about themselves the entire time. They provide no clarity or valuable information and then ask you at the end to pull out your credit card and pay for their course. So what I want you to do is just breathe and relax, because this is not that. Okay, I ain't even got to do all that. This is not that. Okay, I'm actually going to give you valuable information that you can use that will give you some direction and clarity. So we ain't doing that. I'm not spending the whole time telling you about me. She said, Lord, I'm so tired of that. Yes, exactly. I've been there before where I was tired of it myself too. And I know how annoying it can be, especially it's like, I didn't come here to hear about you the whole time. Because at the end of the day, customers only want to know what's in it for them. And that's what I know that. So if this didn't resonate with you, let's kind of talk about who, if this is any of you, you might want to hop off the call. You might stay out of curiosity, but I'm not for wasting people's time, and I don't want my time wasted and so forth, right? So let's go ahead and get into who this won't be for. So MLM type businesses, you might can learn a few things, but it's really not going to completely be for you. Side hustlers who just are in business because they just want to make a quick buck, or they just want to have a little something on the side. So their thought process is going to be a little bit different. If you want to be the cheapest in the market, it's not going to be for you. And for people who are only interested in simply just learning a drop shipping kind of training, it's not going to be for you either. So I can understand if you got to hop off the call and if you can't stay at that point, because again, I don't want to waste nobody's time. Okay. Now, you might stay out of curiosity because it's going to be a lot that you can learn about business that you never know, but I'm just letting you know in advance. All right. So now you're probably wondering, let me just I gave y'all a brief intro. And for those who are just joining, I see quite a few people have just hopped on. I introduced myself as Fatima Barnes, and what I do, I help beauty brands specifically that are stagnant grow and actually start to get paid premium and dominate their online sales. Okay. But you may be wondering, why should you listen to me? Okay. So let me just first talk about my corporate career very vaguely. This is the only slide that you're going to hear me talk about myself, okay? I actually would much rather connect with people offline. Like, let's connect on social media. Let's actually get to know each other. Yes, I have all the fancy business degrees and marketing degrees. I have a marketing background, I have a corporate sales background in which I worked with over 450 businesses in 30 industries and helped generate $5.7 million in revenue. And also, not only that, I owned and have owned my own different six-figure businesses as well. So I'm not just, I know what I'm doing, right? And since just helping beauty brands, I've been helping in the Ambition Academy. I've helped all kind of brands in the beginning. So I'm not even talking about that, but over 40 beauty brands since it's recently just been changed to specifically beauty brands, okay? And not only that, I have a 95% program success rate. Now you might be wondering, like, why your number ain't 100? That's because some things ain't got nothing to do with me. If you work the program, it works. And that I can stand on 1000%. So basically, with all that I've learned and all of this experience I have, I've been an entrepreneur for several years. With all of this experience that I've had in my corporate career and in my own businesses and running my own beauty brand that I grew to six figures, I have packaged that up and packaged all of my lessons, all of my expenses lessons, and all of those different things into an amazing business and program that now helps women just like you. Okay. So if you want to know more about me, again, my goal is I would rather get to know you guys outside of this training today, but I wanted you to know, that I know my stuff, that you can at least know that I know my stuff, right? So I will connect. So make sure you're following me on Instagram if you are not already. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to learn today. What you are going to learn today is truly the blueprint. Like, I'm going to give you the ingredients today, okay? You're going to learn the 4 roadblocks that's keeping you stuck, the exact same framework that I use with my clients to build, grow, and scale a sustainable and profitable beauty brand. I do not believe in half strategies. The secret to attracting and converting your ideal customers into buyers online, you're going to learn that. The $1 million marketing tactics used by big brands to dominate in their spaces and really master their visibility, okay? And actually do it on autopilot. Then you're actually we're going to do a case study review on how one of my clients, well, a lot of them do this, but has sold out of inventory 3 times in just pre-orders, okay? And then you're going to learn what the next steps could look like for your business. And then we're going to get into Q&A, okay? So I have to put that out. And I know you might be wondering, I told y'all just going to get me. You might be wondering, why am I giving out this kind of content for free? Because it's going to get real when my competitors charge for this kind of information. And I'm just go out on a limb and say, because that's all they got, okay? What you're going to learn today, I could not even sit here and give you everything that I teach step by step. I'm going to give you the full framework of what we do, but it's not even the tip of the iceberg because it would be impossible for me to do it in the time that I have you tonight, but you're going to get everything, okay? If that makes sense. So I don't have to charge for this because this isn't all that I have, and I know that, okay? So let's hear from a few people who have been in your shoes tonight. Regina is a client of mine. She was too much Tasha, okay? She said, I thought I knew a lot until I took your course and realized how much I didn't know. I'm glad I ran across your coaching. To be honest, it was worth more than what I paid. Anyone that joins this program will not be disappointed as long as you put in the work. Keyword, as long as you put in the work, okay? I have Destiny representing for the Slaying Stacy's tonight. She said this program was beyond unhelpful. There were many days I just wanted to say, forget it. I'll just do nails. Appreciate this program. I appreciate this program so much. I saw a few programs I was interested in, but Fatima program highlights everything. I have a lot more to share, but I wanted to say thanks a million. And Tarina is definitely a true passionate Patricia, okay? Tarina said for 2 years, her business was at a standstill. Her sales were hit and miss despite all the free master classes she signed up for. And she decided to put her trust in me and trust the program and do the work. You notice the common theme is do the work, okay? Because you got to do the work. I completely sold out of my inventory in pre-sales. I officially launched and sold out again. All of this was organic. I haven't even ran a single ad yet. And 15 minutes ago, I just received an order from someone I don't know in New Jersey. Trust me, y'all, when I say this program works. And so I say all of that to say is that you're going to learn exactly the strategies that they implemented to get these kind of results and to feel, to say the things that they're saying. Okay. So you're going to learn them tonight. But before we get into it, I'm about to really, really, really take it a step further. Okay. So put in the chat, and I want y'all to be honest with yourself. Okay. I want you to put in the chat, what is the goal that you have that you would like to see in monthly revenue, whether that's 5K, 10K, what is your revenue goal for your business? I want to see it, and I want you to be honest. No numbers too big. Like, I want to hear your honest, God's honest to truth. This is how much I want to see in my business per month. I don't see that chat lit up. Okay, 15, 2K. Okay, 30K. Love it. 5K, 10K. Okay. We got some 10s, some 5s. Okay. 5 to 10. Okay. Okay. So I see a mixture. 15K. All right. Anybody else? Let me see what else I got. All right. All right. So y'all was honest? Was everybody honest? Because now I'm about to tell you exactly, I'm going to put these numbers in perspective for you. Okay. So first, let's break these numbers down and tell you, one, most importantly, why I only help premium brands and why most of us really can't afford to not be premium in 2022 for sure. Okay. So I want to break this down for you. Let's talk about business growth first. So get your notes out because you're really going to start needing your notes from here for sure. Let's talk about what it means to grow a business. To grow a business, it takes three things. You either need to add more volume, more orders, right? You either need to charge more, or you need to increase your customer retention rates, meaning repeat buyers. That is the only way that a business will grow, in those three steps. So I'm going to say that again. Charge more, add more volume, aka sales, or increase your customer retention rates. Okay, so your frequency of buyers pretty much is what you want to do, meaning these people are buying from you more than once. Okay, so you must be, let me break down why you can't afford to not be a premium brand. A lot of people look at everybody else's rates and they don't know the numbers behind this stuff, and they don't know, and they just feel like I'm just going to charge, and they charge based off guesswork and pricing. So let me break this down. Say you want to make $5,000 a month in revenue. And many of you guys said from 5 to 10. I think the lowest number I saw was 2. Everybody else said from 5 on up. Okay. So let's break this down and let me put this in perspective for you. Okay. The average generic brand, you sell your product for $10, for $20, the product costs you $10 and you want to make $5,000 a month. Okay, in just revenue, just to get $5,000 in revenue a month, that's not a lot of money when you consider expenses and all of that kind of stuff, the cost that it actually takes to run a business, to buy more buy more products and things like that. $5,000 really isn't a lot of money. But if you want to make $5,000 a month in revenue in your business at this rate, if that's kind of how you're pricing, in this example, you would need 500 sales a month to make your goal. Okay, you would need 500 sales in a month. Now, if y'all being honest with yourself, how close are you to 500 sales in a month? Okay, like just being real. And this is just revenue. This is just revenue. So my question is, how do you feel like you're going to get $5,000 a month at the rate that you're going now if you don't change something? Meaning if you don't grow, meaning if you don't add volume, if you don't increase retention rates, or if you don't charge more. Okay. So if you're not even close, that means you got to do something different. That also means that you can't afford to not be a premium brand, because let me break that down. Do you know how much manpower it takes? how much you would have to spend in advertising, because you cannot, it's impossible pretty much to do that organically at that point, just like that. You know how much you got to put behind your business to get 500 sales in a month? And do you realize that it's not worth it to do that, to get $5,000 a month, when you're going to end up spending half of that on more inventory? Then you're going to end up having to put more into your business, more advertising dollars, the cost of running your business. You got fees you got to pay, you got this, you got that. Before you know it, you're now in the negative again, and you're caught up in this same cycle. You're in this same cycle of what? Constantly in the negative. And so how are you going to see growth that way? Because $5,000 a month is, again, that's not even going to put you at the 6-figure mark in revenue. So now let's talk about a number. Put in the chat the word conversion for me, okay? Conversion. Let me see conversion in the chat, because let me tell you what conversion means. Conversion rates is pretty simple. Conversion literally means based off of the amount of visitors that come to see you in any capacity. A good one is 5%, 5 to 20%, 5 being best worst case scenario, if we put it that way. Okay. So minimum, a good conversion rate, you damn near got to have a perfect business to get 5 to 20% conversions as a brand of a smaller business at this point in time. That means that at least, this is a numbers game. See, business is numbers, and people don't think about that because they run it so much in emotions. That means you got to be seen by 10,000 people and convert them at 5%, meaning your message and everything in front of the right people has to be perfect in order to make, in this example, 500 sales in a month. Now, at this rate that you're going, how many of you guys actually feel like you're being seen by 10,000 people? Like, if we're just being real. Again, so all of that just to get $5,000 in a month is not worth it at that point. It's not even going to allow you to grow and invest back in your business to actually start scaling up, because there's 3 elements of business. You have the build phase, you have the growth phase, and you have the scaling phase. Okay. And so you need all 3 elements to your business to be successful, but you cannot grow at this rate. And so this is why you cannot run a business off of emotion. Literally, you do not have a choice but to be a premium brand. And you're going to have to do something different. But here's the thing. If you go up on the prices, now you got to back it up. And if you're here tonight, there is a disconnect somewhere that is going to make your buyers, if they're not paying you as an average, quote unquote, generic brand, in this example now, how do you think you're going to get them to pay you more? So you're going to have to do something different, because you're just going to be in a hole constantly and exhausted for years and years to come. And I'm not even going to get into, we're going to get into that later about people saying like, well, maybe I'll go viral, because that's a whole nother discussion about how that absolutely does not matter in the sense if you don't have everything together. Okay. So if you just look at example 2 alone, you sell a product for $40 that costs you $10. You'd only need to sell 125 in a month to make your goal. Now, which one makes more sense, to be premium or to be generic? Because a lot of these really, really cheap brands that you see, the cost of doing business is actually lower than them because of the volume that they have. Therefore, they're able to charge less. But you can't, which one makes more sense? Would you rather be a premium brand that actually has to do less to get more? Or would you rather continue to be a generic brand? Because even if you're marketing yourself as a premium brand, your customers are seeing you as generic. And there's absolutely a reason why. Your customers are seeing you generic. I don't care how pretty your website, your logo, I don't care how cute your content, is. That stuff does not matter because your customers aren't seeing you as premium. So if you're going to be scenario number 2, there are some things you got to do to back it up. And we're going to really, really get into that tonight. Okay. So let me know if I'm making sense. Put a 1 in the chat if that kind of gave you some perspective on why it's so important to understand these concepts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me know I'm on track. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Now, here's the problem. The problem is most people are totally unaware of how to even begin building, growing, and scaling a premium brand because there's so many limiting beliefs that you guys have about how to make that happen. And so we're going to talk about what those limiting beliefs are, because those limiting beliefs is what's keeping you stuck and in the same situation over and over and over again. Okay. So the 4 roadblocks, let's get into it. Roadblock number 1. How many of you have done this? And I see it all the time. I'm moving in silence. I'm gonna work on my business in silence. I'm working on my stuff. And then I post it and I say, all right, y'all, I just launched my business. Now buy from me. You can go order on the site. Or you might have did a little bit promo before, but you was moving in silence. If you've done that, put a 1 in the chat and let me know. Put a 1 in the chat, let me know if that's been your move, right? Exactly. That's what I mean by limiting beliefs, because you worried about everybody else around you, what they gonna say, what they gonna do. So you moving in silence, and you don't understand moving in silence is what is actually affecting you, because that's not launching, okay? When you launch too quickly and you go live too quickly and you say here, you're missing a single important element. I want y'all to make sure y'all got y'all notes out, because you're missing the nurturing process. You did not nurture your audience before you decided to launch. You didn't have nurturing systems in place. You didn't have a launch strategy. And did you know that launching is something that takes minimum 30 to 60 days? It takes 30 to 60 days as a new brand minimum to nurture your audience, to prime them up to buy from you. But now you disappointed because you done put it out there and everybody ain't buying. You heard crickets, or you got a few orders, and it may be your grandma over here and your sister over here that bought to support, but you ain't get no real orders and you didn't make no moves because you did not nurture your audience. So you launched too quickly. You went straight to, I'm gonna start this business, I'm gonna get this website and this logo, and I'm gonna work real hard. I'm gonna just put it out there, and then that I'm gonna just, people gonna buy because I work so hard. And see, the misconception in this roadblock is we think that build it and they will come works, and that does not work. And anybody who tells you build it and they will come is a liar. Okay, is a liar. Okay, that is not how you launch. And I know that we feel like just because we worked really, really hard on it in the background that people should just jump for it, but that's not how it works. So then we get our feelings hurt, and then we say, cut this off. Okay. We get our feelings hurt, and then we say, just don't nobody support me. No, you have to nurture and prime your audience up to buy. So somebody put in the chat, nurture, okay? Nurture, nurture, nurture. You are missing the nurturing process, and you launched too quickly because you felt like that was what people do when they launch, okay? You didn't understand what launching actually is. It takes 30 to 60 days to prime up buyers as a new business, okay? All right, so number 2, you're working way too damn hard. We did not go into business to be work. I know you, it's hard work to it, and I'm the hardest. Can't nobody outwork me, I swear. And anybody that knows me knows how hard I work. But you don't want to work hard. You want to work smarter, okay? So you're working too hard for the money, and it don't gotta be that hard. You doing all these pop-up shops. You're posting 80 million times a day, thinking that that's what you're supposed to do. You're just doing too much, and it's not getting you anywhere because it's not meant to get you anywhere. There's a better way of doing this than to sit there and have to do all of this. So you're working way too hard. She said, now you're calling me out. Yes, I told y'all, I'm giving it to y'all. I'm giving it to y'all for real tonight, okay? You don't have to work that doggone hard. Okay, there is a better, more efficient way to build, grow, and scale a business that doesn't require you to be doing all the, just think about how taxing it is on you to have to go and drive and put all your stuff together and set up a pop-up shop booth. And your whole business is, the business model is dependent on you being in a pop-up shop. That's not the goal. The goal is for you to be on a boat in Dubai while your notifications are blowing up with Shopify notifications saying that you got an order, right? And if I'm right on that, let me know. Isn't that not the goal, to make money in your sleep? So you don't want to have to build your business around a business model that says, and unless I'm working this damn hard, that's the only time I'm making money. That's not it, sis. And that's a limiting belief that you guys have, because you're equating hard work and saying, I'm working so hard. Why ain't nobody buying from me? Why nobody seeing me? Because you work too damn hard, you're not working smart, right? So there's a way to work smart where you don't have to burn yourself out for the dollar. So let's go on to number 3. So number 2, somebody put in the chat for me, hard work. Okay, because you're working way too hard. No, actually put too much. Put too much. It's just too much. I got a headache thinking of it. But I've been there before, so that's how I can speak on it. Because I was that beauty brand at first, before I learned the game. I was that beauty brand doing too much. Okay. All right, number 3, you're implementing half strategies. And what does that look like? I'm a really step on toes tonight. Half strategies looks like what these gurus are telling you, oh, if you just keep posting, they gonna see you. You just buy my marketing course, okay? You're buying marketing course after marketing course because you think marketing is your problem. Well, let me tell you, marketing is 5 pillars. Promotion is only 1. It's just 1 pillar of marketing. So everybody's selling you these promotional courses, these grow your Instagram courses. You sitting there trying to grow your Instagram more than you grow your business. You on YouTube and Google, and don't even get me started on that, because that's, we're going to talk about that later. But you're getting half strategies that aren't the full picture, and that's not the full piece of the puzzle. And you're wondering why you are stuck, because that don't go together. Okay. It don't go together. And so you are thinking that something is wrong with you, when it's really that you just don't have the full picture. And these people are leading you guys astray by telling you all you need is marketing. That's not all you need. You don't just need marketing. Marketing is literally a very, very, very small portion of everything that you need. And so these gurus get on here online telling you, and you in these Facebook groups, and they telling you, yeah, I can help you with your marketing. And you buy these marketing courses and you saying it ain't work. It's not the marketing that strategies that they probably teach you, but they give you these cooker cutty copy paste strategies that they're giving to everybody, that your marketing needs may be different than someone else's. And not only that, a lot of them out there aren't specific to beauty brands, which has a totally different set of needs. So if you're on YouTube and Google and you're doing this and you're doing that, now you're stuck. And again, you're wasting time, energy, and money running in a circle. And the last roadblock, and a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's you. It's you. And let me tell you what I see the biggest problem with that is. It's you, because y'all think too small. Your mindset is what's holding you back. You're letting fear, emotions, you're not prioritizing your business the way that you think that you are, because you say you want to grow the business, right? But you're not investing in the business. You're not investing in because you have a fear that you're not going to get your money back. And if that's your mindset going into a business, you got another thing coming, right? But like, you're letting fear and emotions run your business and your decision making, and you're acting like a small business. Just because you are a small business does not mean that you have to act and run your business like a small business, because that is exactly how your potential customers are going to treat you. like the little small business they see. That's an energy thing that they can feel and they can see. And because you make decisions like a small business owner, you're going to stay a small business owner. Because what my clients learn and what I am a big believer in is you can go ahead and run that business and act and run like a multi-million-dollar company before you a multi-million-dollar company if you really want to get to multi-million-dollars or whatever. And I'm on my way, you know, I ain't got my millions yet, it's on their way to me, but I'm just saying, like, you're thinking too small. You're not thinking rationally. You're thinking local. You're worried about everybody who's not supporting you, quote unquote, when really it's that you got to give them something to support. But if you have that small business energy and small mentality, that's where your business is going to stay. And so your mindset is always about, your mindset is always just way too granular. You're not thinking big picture, and it's holding you back because you're not operating and running your business like a CEO. Your mindset is that of a burned out small business entrepreneur and not that of a CEO, because CEOs outsource help. CEOs don't try to do everything on their own. CEOs invest in getting the right strategies. CEOs think long-term, big picture. They make decisions thinking for their vision of where they want to go and not their current circumstances. And so the biggest thing that I see is people look at their current circumstances and they operate from that space and think that they're going to grow and go further. So I know y'all can go ahead and pass the collection plate because I know I'm preaching tonight. If I'm preaching and you know that these all have been you, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat and let me know if that's you. Okay. I got 2. I got 3 ones. Okay. All right. I got an amen. See, Diamond done gave me an amen. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So let's get into the 3 components that you actually need to have a successful brand. Okay. Your actual 3 key components. Now, first, you need a unique selling position. And I'm going to get into the details of what all of these mean. This is why I don't do half strategies. This is branding, your niche, pricing, building that foundation. This is that foundational element. This is where it starts in you create a position that is unique to only your business. See, the problem when you go to these cooker cutty coaches and cooker cutty strategies or whatever, what they're doing is they're trying to give you a copy and paste template to build a brand the way that they think it's supposed to build it, and they're not teaching you how to build it authentic to you. Okay, so they're not giving you the keys that you need to have a unique selling position in the marketplace, because that is how you stand out. The second piece of that is you need to learn to master irresistible content. Okay, irresistible content, let me be very, very clear. Okay, this is where the attraction then comes in at. Okay, your messaging and your attraction and your methods have to be so clear that it becomes a no-brainer for people to want to shop with you. You gotta find the gap in your content, okay? Because what most people are doing that I see is they end up marketing and creating content like everybody else because they don't have a unique selling position, and they get lost in a sea of other beauty brands and nobody can tell why you're different. And we're gonna dig deeper into that. And number 3 is then you add the marketing machine. But notice I did not just say marketing. I said marketing machine, because you need to create a business and a brand that will be a marketing machine that will operate in a way that you need it to operate. Like, that is going to market for you, so you ain't got to do too much like we just talked about. Then you add the marketing machine, exactly, marketing systems. But if you got all the systems in the world, but you don't have the other ones, you're still going to be out of touch, okay? And I'm going to break down why. All right, let's start with unique selling position. Okay, so let's get into it. So the pros of a unique selling position, and again, y'all need to have some notes, is you position your brand as the go-to brand in your space. Okay, you build up a reputation and credibility among potential customers, and then you're able to charge premium rates and actually charge what you're worth because you have identified your unique selling position to the marketplace. Okay, Understanding your unique, now that's the pros. Now the cons is understanding your unique selling position is great, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't have enough visibility to see how amazing you are, to see that uniqueness. It don't mean anything if nobody sees it. And the problem is most of y'all think you're visible when you're not. Most of your ideal customers don't even know that you exist because you're doing too much and you're not, your efforts aren't effectively gone, okay? So it means nothing if you don't have the sales to back it up, right? If you don't have sales coming in, having a unique position means nothing. And there are other beauty brands out there that look the part and are clear on their position, but they don't make no money. And I see it all the time. I talk to people every day. Okay. So yes, you need your unique selling position. Those are the pros of what it does for you. But then the cons is it means nothing if nobody sees it. It means nothing if you can't back it up. And it means nothing to just look the part. That is the problem that I see when y'all buy these new logos and websites and you invest all of this money into looking good. And I tell people all the time, it's like painting over a house that's molded with a bad foundation and issues left and right. But because it's pretty, you want people to buy, okay? So that is why just having a unique selling position alone just doesn't work. Having a unique selling position gives you clarity. So in our private community with just paying clients, one of my clients here literally wrote, she had her one-on-one call with me today. It was her first one-on-one call with me. And after being in business for 5 years, she was in business in this cycle for 5 years. I finally have some clarity on the direction that I want to take my business. Okay. So we worked on her unique selling position in that call that day. And she was able to finally get clarity on what her position needs to be and how she can actually stand out in the market. And it was unique to her. It wasn't Fatima. It wasn't cookie cutter. It was unique to her and her business. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. Now you need to master irresistible content. I love to say irresistible content and I don't say master content. I don't just say master content and I just don't say content. I say irresistible content for a reason. Okay. All right. You create amazing content that gets people interested and it will help you stand out online. That's the pro. Okay. You'll get more traffic to your brand on social media because your content is doing pretty good, right? You got the good irresistible content. Your brand begins to create demand from your ideal customer. So when you master and get irresistible content right, this is what happens. Okay. Now, we're going to talk more about what kind of content you should be posting. But when you get it right, that is what you get. Now, I'm going to tell you the big problem that I see is that a lot of people are marketing like everybody else in their content. They're just posting those videos of them mixing up their product and just them wearing the product and just like, these are the benefits. And oh, this is vegan friendly and this is all natural. Okay. That's not enough to get people to buy. That's not the kind of content that creates demand for your products, okay? That's not enough, okay? Now, the con is it takes a lot of work to create this kind of content and it's easy to get burned out, okay? You can easily focus too much energy on just the content side of the business that you feel more like a content creator as opposed to a CEO. Okay. And it's great to get people anxious to buy your products, but it means nothing if you don't have a clear system to capture the ideal customer, convert them, and retain that customer. So you can have the most beautiful content in the world, but if you don't have the rest of the strategy, then now you're still in a same position. So I see a lot of people with great content, but I don't know why you're unique. And then they don't have this last part here, okay? Let's talk, okay. This one person who is a client of mine, this was what she wrote in the group, okay? She posted how she obviously started implementing the strategies and she got certified just to boost up her credibility a little bit in what she's selling. She's selling women's feminine products, okay? And she actually gained not only 3 clients for her health business, but they actually became her customers. They actually became her customers because of her posts. And that is how they actually started working with her. So just off her post, again, this girl has like 200 followers. And in a week, she got 3 customers off of her post, because it's not just, it's a certain type of content. You need all of the ingredients. So you don't have to have all of that. With 200 followers, she got 3 customers in a week off social media. I know, and I talk to people all the time who don't get 3 customers in a month sometimes, okay? But she got it in a week off one single post. So there is a method to the strategy. All right, so let's get into the last piece that you need, and that's marketing machine. And that's why I say marketing machine. The pro is creating a system is perfect for ensuring you have a predictable process to convert your potential customers into buyers, meaning it's predictable. You know that it's going to be a cycle of rinse and repeat in your business, again, without you having to work too damn hard. But the setup for this can be, very difficult to set up, right? And that's in the cons. But let me get back to the pros. I done skipped ahead. It can be, this can be set up to account for consumer behavior, the actual psychological steps that a customer takes to buying with you. And we're going to get into that later. And then you can actually free up your time while still building relationships and attaining visibility with your customers, okay? So that is the pros of this. The cons of this is that you do not, like, the actual cons is that it's very difficult to set up if you don't know what you're doing. And especially if you're new to online businesses. And then, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody was trying to get in. I have a special guest coming in tonight, and she is trying to get in. All right. So Kira, if you hear me, if you can send her that link, I just check your Skype. All right, y'all, sorry about that. So the con is, again, it's very difficult to set up if you don't know what you're doing, and it doesn't work and can be a waste of time if you don't have a clear, unique selling position. And if you don't have all of your ingredients in your business, this is a waste of money. It is a waste of money to have the perfect systems and not have the full picture. So let's take a look at some of the people who actually started to implement their systems. And I'm not going to read all of this, but I'll give you guys high level. Y'all can check the receipts on here. So one of them made $1,500 in a week and did not have to, as she said, stalk her Facebook page to make it happen. And she said, I saved her ass big time. Another person right here, and I don't, the whole thing isn't in here. I don't know why, but I guess I didn't screenshot it right. But I forgot how much she made. She made a pretty big amount of money in just her, after being in a red for so long, just in her pre-orders of her relaunch. And she hadn't ran a single ad yet. Okay. And then someone else wrote me and said, I was so nervous investing in my business at this level, but I've made it all back and some. And then they told me they wanted to join the alumni program that I have. Okay. So if you have the ingredients, the stuff works. Okay. You need all 3 pieces to work though. And that is the problem. Okay. It's not enough just to implement them separate and implement them into separate components and piece them together. It's not enough. It's about how powerful they all work together as a system, as a unit to actually create sustainable growth in a solid business model for your business, meaning you're continuously attracting and converting customers, okay? This is why I cannot stand those half strategies, okay? This is why I cannot stand it, because they're not giving you the full picture, and you need all of them to work. It is a powerful, interconnected system. Okay, this is why you can't go on YouTube and find this one piece on this, and you can't go here and find this one piece on that and try to piece this stuff together, because they all need to be together. And there's one other thing that you gotta have to make this work. Okay, who can guess what the other piece of that is that you need? Let me see in the chat what you think the last piece of this. We got unique selling position, we got mastering irresistible content, and we got marketing machines. Okay, we have a team. Okay, no, not a team. Anybody else going to take a guess on what's the 4th and final component that they need? Patience. I mean, that kind of goes a little bit with it. Money. Yeah. Effort. Okay, so let me go ahead and kind of dispel some of these things. All right. So patience, means nothing if you don't have the right strategy, because you can be patient for 30 years and keep trying to do the same thing over and over again, saying, I'm gonna just be patient, I'm gonna get these sales, and it's not gonna work, right? I mean, there is an element of patience to it when you got the whole thing. A team, you can absolutely implement this without a team and set your business up that way, because when you start hiring teams, that's actually when you're in the scaling phase of your business and not the growth phase. And most of you guys need to be in a growth phase. So you don't even have to have a team to implement all of these. Effort, just like patience, your effort means nothing if you're not putting your efforts in the right places. Okay, you're doing the same thing. Yes, you need a level of ambition, and that's going to go into the last thing is the mindset. And I know y'all don't like to hear this, but it's critical and it's necessary. Because if you believe in yourself, like you're saying, Marilyn, you believe in yourself most of all, that is absolutely true. And when you believe in yourself most of all, you believe in your business, you make certain moves that will get you to the growth that you're looking for, because you know, I'm gonna make it happen. Just give me what I need, right? And so I know y'all don't like to hear it, but it's necessary. And your business, this is the most truest statement. And trust me, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. And I say successful entrepreneur because not everybody is a successful entrepreneur. Your business will only grow at the level your mind does. So if you think you're going to grow and not change nothing and not work on that mindset, you got another thing coming. Okay, you can implement all the strategies in the world, but without the right mindset, you will not sustain. Okay, and a lot of that comes with believing in yourself. Exactly, Marilyn. Les Brown, one of my favorite speakers, once said, the easiest thing I've ever done is make $1 million. It's really not the actual steps that it takes to make $1 million. It's not, it's very simple, is what I'm telling you tonight. The hardest part is believing that you can actually do it. But the big piece of that is you can think that you can do it, but not put the work behind it in the belief. You can say all day long, I'm gonna be a millionaire, my business is gonna touch $1 million. But if your actions aren't reflecting that and your mindset doesn't really believe that, you can say all the affirmations in the world that you want to say, and it's not going to happen without you actually having that belief. That's the part of manifesting that people want to leave out. You got to have the belief and you got to have the action. You need to let your actions guide you in that. And so you got to learn to be resourceful. You got to learn to be disciplined, because you're not always going to be motivated. You got to learn to see past your current situation and stop thinking small. And you got to learn to stop thinking that everything costs this and stop being so cheap. Let's just really keep it real, because you're really not going to grow a business being cheap, and you're definitely not going to scale a business being cheap. And I'm gonna really tell y'all like this. I study under the only people that I mentor under and that are my coaches and my consultants are 7 and 8 figure earners. So I learn directly from them because I'm trying to get to where they're going. And because of that, one common thing they all say is that mindset. They all will tell you, one of the ones that I study under legitimately said, I mean, y'all know the strategies to get to $1 million is not hard. You create you solve a problem, you put systems around it, you establish your uniqueness, and you start, putting it out there. It's really not hard. That's what they will tell you in terms of that piece. The only thing separating from you and being a 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner, or 8-figure earner is your mindset. Okay, because I've invested so much. Some things it was a loss. Some it really wasn't a loss because I learned. You get what I'm saying? Like, but my mindset is never like, man, I'm never doing that again. And then you got to stop being afraid to fail, because all business is a bunch of little failures until you get it right. Okay, you're never going to stop failing. But if you're so afraid of how you're going to look to people, if you're going to look crazy, how you're going to be really going to fail then. You should want to fail daily, but that is why a lot of people mindset isn't right, because they don't want to fail. They don't want to fail. They don't want to take healthy risk. That you cannot make it to $1 million without risk in anything that you do. Being in business is a risk. You cannot make it to $1 million or 6 figures, even 6 figures being cheap. What got me to 6 figures is not what's going to get me to 7 and beyond. It takes a different level of mindset and elevation at each level. Okay. All right, so here's just some more of these things. Someone said here, listen, what she teach works. She showed her numbers on just one of her organic posts. One of them said, I can truly say I'm learning a lot of things. It keeps me focusing on track. And then someone else said, I shed a tear earlier. The orders have been pouring in. Okay. So remember, you need all four. They're not negotiable at all. It's like a car. Your car is not going to go anywhere with 3 tires. Not for long. It's only going to go so far, right? You're going to mess them rims up and then you're going to be out of even more money trying to get it fixed because you tried to drive on 3 tires or 2 tires. Your car is not going to go without all of the components, and neither is your business, okay? So let's review. We got the 3 key components: unique selling position, irresistible content, and a marketing machine. You can have, if you have a unique selling position in a marketing machine, but your content ain't on point, you're just not going to convert people into customers. If you have the greatest content and a unique selling position, but nobody even sees and you're not even visible, then now you're just, all of your efforts, nobody's seeing it to even see how amazing it is. If you have great content and you don't have the marketing machine behind it, I mean, you have a marketing machine and you don't have a unique selling position, now people just going to say, I don't know why her over me. Now you're going to struggle with retaining customers and getting people to really even start trusting you. So you need all of them. And then you need the mindset to keep going when you mess up or when you're trying to figure this stuff out. And you need to be able to sustain, but you need a certain mindset. You need all of them. And so what most of my clients, when they come to me, all of the people that you've seen tonight, when they come to me, they were stuck in this wheel and not moving. Just constantly stuck between burning out, hearing crickets, not getting no sales, and doing too much. Okay. Now let's talk about what I was telling you earlier. This is the thing. Your growth needs to be like an upward trend of healthy growth. This is what healthy growth looks like in a business. Healthy growth does not look like a zigzag. Okay. And what do I mean by the zigzag? Let's say you made some money. You did good here. Right. And then you don't have no orders for 3 months. And then, oh my God, I done went viral. So I got a whole bunch of orders. And this is the problem with going viral, because most people that go viral don't have all of the key components. So they can't sustain that. Their business wasn't ready for that. Okay. Then let's say now, okay, you ain't got no orders because you don't have no systems or nothing in place. You don't have all the components. And now you say it's income tax time. All right, everybody got their taxes. Everybody get ready to buy. Shop with me, shop with me. Everybody ready to spend money during tax time, right? So now you got the income tax people coming in, and then you don't get no orders again for a while. And you still doing all of this stuff trying to get orders. And then, time goes by, it's up and down. It's the summertime, people out of school, they may spend a little bit more money. And then what happens is Christmas come and everybody have a good December and November because it's Christmas and everybody shopping in. And now you see this go up and then it goes back down. That is not a healthy, if your business looks like that, if it looks like a zigzag, that's not a healthy growth. It should be an upward trend. And that's not to say that overall you're not going to have slower times than others or different peak seasons, but it is to say that overall your business has been steadily increasing. And if you've been in business X amount of time and you have not seen that and you still in a zigzag, you have a problem. And then if you don't fix it, you'll continuously be in a zigzag. Okay. You want the trend to go upward. Okay, you do not want to build a business model around so many other factors that you just don't have no control over. You don't have any control over you going viral. You don't have any control over if this brand ambassador gonna bring these people over. You done pay her $2,000 and she's supposed to get you all these customers, and some of them do, and then you can't sustain it. You don't have any control over that. So why would you build your business off of a business model that you don't even have control over? Okay, there's a lot that you can control. So if you find that you're in a zigzag, go ahead and put zigzag for me in the chat. Because I was in a zigzag before. I know it. I get it. I've been there. I can speak to it. I know how terrible it feels. I know how you're like, I can't, this is terrible, right? Like, I know how discouraging it can be. And I know how big of a difference it feels when you start to see a healthy trend upwards, okay? All right, so we're gonna get into it even more. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. If this is resonating with you, if you are learning something, put a 1 in the chat for me and let me know if this is making sense. Okay. All right. Look like I'm making sense. Perfect. Now, let's get into some of these different things. One of the biggest things that I see about people not wanting to create a unique selling point or position in their business, the myth is, I don't want to narrow down my business. I don't want to find a niche. I don't want to do that stuff. I don't want to tell my story. I don't want to create. I don't want to do all of that. I just want to do this quick because I don't want to lose out on potential money by doing that. That is the biggest myth. And it's actually that mindset is why you're not getting sales. Okay. It's why you're getting lost in the sauce, and it's why nobody knows what you got going on. The truth is, you cannot build a solid business without it, without a unique position, without branding. It's all built off of you serving a specific tribe and communicating that through your unique position. You're actually missing out on more money by not getting very, very clear as to your position. Because again, people say the market is oversaturated. That's a myth. You can find your crew, your people, your tribe, and be successful. If Rihanna said it, and I know we see that example all the time, but it's true. If she decided she wasn't going to start selling makeup or lingerie because everybody else is doing it, she would have been lost, but she found her tribe. Okay. Let me tell you why this myth is so detrimental. Let me put it into you as an example. All right. Say you go to the emergency room. Okay. If you know the medical field, a general doctor does not get paid the same as a specialist, right? And there is a reason why. Okay. The generalist is more high level, they're not focused. So you come in the emergency room, you see the general doctors can check your vitals, they can do certain things, right? But that general doctor, if it's something wrong that they can't fix, guess what they're gonna say? I'm gonna have to send you to a specialist. Guess who gets paid more money? Specialists. So your business has to be a specialist. If you're not the specialist in your industry, and if you're not the specialist in your unique position in that, you're going to look like the generalist. You're going to look like everybody else, and anybody can walk in any urgent care or emergency room, get seen by that general doctor, and the general doctor going to say, you done paid $1,000 for that general doctor to say, I'm gonna have to send you to a specialist. You see what I'm saying? You want to be the specialist. So let me know if that made sense, that difference, because a lot of people are not creating a unique selling position in the market because they are thinking, again, too small, and they are being a generalist. And so your clients don't see you as a specialist in the marketplace. They don't know what makes you different and what makes you special. And so you have become a generalist, and it don't matter how pretty your brand looks or how pretty your logo is, you are a generalist. You look like everybody else, right? And so you don't want to be that. You want to be a specialist. And that's a myth that most people have. So I'm going to tell you the number one secret big brands do to really convert their customers online. They get extremely clear on their positioning and their niche. And I'm not talking about women over 25. I attract women over 25 who like to look good and smell good. That is not enough. That is not a niche, and that is not a position. A position is much bolder. A position is much more of someone who says, I'm me over anybody else. A position and authority in your brand, it has to be very, very clear, but you can't do that being a generalist. So that's number one. Number two is they find the gap. And this is the problem with a lot of y'all content too. You gotta find the gap between the pain point that your potential customers are having and their pleasure point. It's not enough to speak to the benefits. You have to find that gap, and then you gotta widen it with your content. Okay. But all you got to do is get a clear position and find a gap in your industry. Okay. And then you need to study closely and spy on your audience and understand their thought processes, what they think, what they feel. This is market research. You have to understand your customer better than they understand themselves. Because honestly, if you came on here tonight, if I didn't know y'all, I couldn't even create this kind of content. I wouldn't have been able to say, who is Slaying Stacy? Who is Tasha? Who is I wouldn't have been able to say that if I didn't know y'all. You got to know your audience. And there's ways that you can spy on them and get to know them. And I teach that in my program. But yes, if you don't know them and you don't know them very close, you're going to miss the mark every time. Okay. Then you want to create branding, messaging, and marketing, all based upon what you've done at the foundation. After you found what their pain points are, you got extremely clear on your position and you found the gap. Okay. Most of y'all aren't finding the gap. You're just saying, I have a pretty brand and I sell XYZ. Now that should be enough. And it's not. Okay. Especially when they got all these different choices. And then from there, you need an effective launch plan. And this is where people go wrong because they do not know how to launch effectively and properly in their businesses. And so we kind of talked about earlier what a launch plan actually looks like, but a launch plan is priming those people up to buy and basically saying, this is who I am in the position that I bring to the table, and this is why I'm gonna be the best one that you ever had, and I'm gonna make sure that you're ready for it before I even go live. This is the key to selling your inventory before you even go live and relaunch. But you can't do it without all of that. And I told y'all be thinking y'all launching, but y'all making announcements. That's just an announcement to say, all right, y'all, I've been working really hard on this, and I'm so excited to introduce my baby to the world. And I've been there and I've done that, right? And so here's the link to my website. Go ahead and shop with me. I would really appreciate your support. And that's not launching, okay? So you have to have an effective launch plan or none of this makes any difference. And then you start implementing your marketing machine, okay? And that's all that the big brands are doing. And I know this because I've worked with them. I had a pretty successful one myself after a lot of mistakes. And I'm telling you guys, this is the game. You find the gap, you state your position, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the content that does that, okay? To create content that builds demand in your customers' eyes, okay? And in your potential customers' eyes is the mistakes that I see is you're creating content similar to everybody else in your industry. They done seen enough videos of people whipping body butter. They done seen enough videos of, shaking bundles or whatever. I'm just throwing out examples. They have seen enough. You look like everybody else. And most people, they teach you, because let me just put it to you this way. Your customer does not care about you. And that's the sad realization. They only care about what's in it for me. And many of you are doing that stuff because that's what you like. And maybe you're impressed with how it looks when you whip up your body butter and all of that. But your customer could care less. It helps for some people, but that's not widening the gap between their pleasure and their pain and creating demand. Okay. That's a big, big piece of that. Okay. So that stuff is cute, but cute don't pay the bills. It's not just enough to speak to the benefits either. You can't just say this is beneficial because it clears acne. It does this, it does that. That's not even enough anymore. And everybody teaches you to teach to the benefits and sell the benefits and not the features. And that is true. But even just selling the benefits isn't enough anymore because everybody is saying that I'm a vegan brand and I'm a natural brand and I'm this and I'm that. Or I have, I got good bundles, right? You can't even just speak to the benefit, okay? That's not even enough because everybody else is marketing that way. Everybody else with similar products is saying this vegan product is beneficial because it does this and it does that, okay? The kind of content that creates demand, it widens the gap. And that is saying you're not speaking to, let me give you guys a prime example, okay? You're not you're telling them in your content why they have to have your products because of their pain and where they want to be. And if they keep doing what they're doing now, it's not going to get them there. So for instance, if this person is suffering with acne and your product clears that, you can't say the benefit is that it clears acne. And I'm going to show you how it looks when I put it on. And I'm going to show you how I look in the bottle. No, that's not enough to connect that. The pain of that person having acne is that it may be embarrassing to them. The pain of that person not that it knocks them off their confidence. You got to go deeper. And the only way you can do that is through understanding your customers' pain points and pleasure points, right? Where they would want to be is to have clear skin so that they can actually confidently not have to wear makeup every day. Or so that that's what they actually want. You want to get to the root of what do they actually want? What are they actually desiring? And if your content is not addressing that and saying, if you keep using XYZ, it's not going to clear your acne. It's actually going to make it worse. And I know that you're tired of going out and being embarrassed by your skin. I know that's got to be a lot for you. You can actually achieve clear skin, but you see what I'm saying? That's a little different than saying it clears acne scars. That's benefits, absolutely. But you can't just speak to the benefits because everybody is. Okay. And again, you're only posting. This is a big one. You're not even building relationships with your potential customers because you are so focused on sales, right? Let me post and just try to get sales. And you ain't built authority, trust, and credibility. And you do that through your content. Your irresistible content is how you do that. And there's different types of content that you do, but irresistible content is how you do. You have to have a good content strategy, a good strategy on that. Because what that looks like when you go on social media or wherever, and you just say, buy from me, y'all, look at my products, click the link in the bio, shop today, shop today, shop today, shop today. Or you post those cute little memes and say, it's an add to cart kind of day. You do all of those different things, right? But your ultimate goal is always shop from me. You look like that person that only calls you when they want something, when they want some money. Like, here she go with her hand out again, right? Who likes that? Let me know if you can't stand the person who always got the hand. Don't call you unless they want something, because I can't stand it. Put it in the chat if you can't stand that person who only calls you when they want something. I can't be the only one. I see one, yes. Like, that's exactly how your business looks when the only thing you post every day on social media is shop with me. I see a lot of cut them off. Exactly. That's what's happening in your business with a lot of your potential customers. They're like, here she go again. That's all she posts. She wants something. You have to give more than you can receive on those platforms. Okay. You have to have an even exchange and build relationships with them, or they're going to cut you off like you do to those who do you the same way. So your content is that key. She said, wait, can we cut off our kids? I don't think you can cut off the kids quite yet until they grown per se. But yeah, exactly. Callie said, cut them off like scissors. Exactly. So you don't want to bring that energy, and that's not your intention, but that is what is coming across to your potential customers because you're not building that relationship. And we're going to talk deeper about that here in a second. You're focused only on vanity metrics. Let me tell you something. I have gotten high paying clients who never liked, commented, and didn't even follow me. Okay. Vanity metrics means nothing. You're spending all your energy. Oh my God, the engagement is down. The algorithm. You got these people selling you on. I can teach you how to cheat the algorithm on Instagram. The cheat code to the algorithm on Instagram is your content. You keep posting that content that's great, that's going to fill that gap, that's going to make them feel like they need you and they have to buy from you. We don't care about no likes and comments. We don't care about, I'm different in that approach. And my clients know I teach them how to leverage that platform for sales, but I am absolutely not teaching them how to simply worry about likes and follows and those vanity metrics. That stuff will come naturally. But we ain't worried about that because I ain't never had a like pay a bill. If you've had a like pay a bill, let me know how you did it. Please put it in the chat and let me know if you've ever had a like pay a bill, because I really want to know. I done had a cha-ching pay a bill. I done had a you just got a order pay a bill, but I ain't never had a like pay a bill. And that is why you need to learn how to leverage the platform. Okay. The last piece of that is, again, you're also not creating content. She said, I wish. You're not creating content that actually addresses all of your potential customers' objections on the front end. Okay. It's too much. Address that in your content. What's the difference between that and somebody else's? I can just go here, address that in your content. For an example, if your customers want to buy cheap quality hair, instead of paying you for quality up front, guess what you should be saying to address that in your, you know what they're doing wrong, you need to address that. Here's why buying new cheap hair every 3 months is costing you more money in the long run than buying quality hair that'll last you for 2 years. Let's do the numbers on that. See the difference? Address those objections in your content up front. Not having a clear call to action that prompts your customers to take action. If you don't tell them what to do, they won't do it. And it can't always be shop now. But you can do that indirectly through your content, okay? So you got to widen that gap, and you got to make them feel like, oh shit, I need her. I need their products. Because think about the companies that do that to you, okay? Now, here's the $1 million marketing secret that they really ain't telling you, okay? Millionaire brands are using the buyer's journey, okay? With the use of the buyer's journey, they are creating content and building systems around a psychological process that your customer has to go through before they buy from you, okay? This is consumer behavior 101, okay? The buyer's journey, not understanding how important the buyer's journey is why you're missing the mark. Your entire business model, your systems, they all should be built around your content, the buyer's journey, okay? If not, you're missing out on a lot of money, a lot of potential customers, and actually growing your business, okay? And let's take a look at what the buyer's journey looks like, because I actually want to show you what it looks like, okay? The buyer's journey says that there is a process that you need to do. What I have seen is that most of y'all are posting content and creating strategies that focus directly on consideration and decision without even thinking about the first elements that you got to bring them through this journey, okay? For an example, I've never seen a car start off right here, pick up and fly to the decision piece, fly to your destination. If you've ever seen a car do that, that's not an airplane, please let me know. But I've never seen a car start here and pick up and go all the way here. There is a journey that your car goes through. And that's the same with your business. So if you're wondering why you're not converting your potential customers into sales, it's because you're not taking them through the psychological journey. And it's clear by the way that you present your brand and how you market yourself that you aren't aware of the buyer's journey, because your content would reflect that. The way you position your brand would reflect that. Your marketing strategies and techniques and all of that would reflect this journey right here. Am I frozen, y'all? Somebody said it. Am I frozen? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see me. Okay. Okay. So it may just be you, Shay. Okay. Perfect. So you're trying to tell these people this is what you're trying to do. hey, let me tell you the solutions and the features and get you to buy from me. All right. Somebody's raising their hand. If you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the Q&A. And when we get to the Q&A, I will definitely answer them. All right. So you got to take them through this journey. If you don't take them through this journey, you're not going to get sales. You can't make people, it's like going on a date with someone and then it's your first date and they say, will you marry me? And you're like, I don't even know you. We haven't courted, we haven't done none of that. That's what happens when you don't take into account the buyer's journey. And that's what $1 million brands are doing. Trust me. So you create your marketing machine around this buyer's journey. And so you have to do that by, again, leveraging your social media as a lead generation strategy, as a potential customer strategy. It needs to be a part of a grand strategy. It can't be your only thing because you do not own Instagram. You do not own Facebook. If they shut down right now, how many of you would be SOL in your business? And be honest with me and put it in the chat. Because you don't have a generation, you're not using it for its intended purpose as a business, right? You're using it thinking that you're going to get them to the end of the buyer's journey, okay? So you also have no systems in place to nurture your potential customers, to actually nurture them. Nurturing is important. Shay said 50-50, I have an email list. That's a big part of it, right? But even with an email list, if you don't know where it fits in the grand scheme and you don't know what to do with it and how to properly use it, it still means absolutely nothing. Because just like even in email, just like even with email, guess what? You're going to get them on email and they're going to say, this person ain't never emailed me hardly nothing a day in their life or whatever. That's if you don't know how to properly use it and you don't know exactly what you should be saying in your emails. So it's kind of the same concept. So again, so Diamond said, I'm the pop-up queen. I can live with IG. Okay. This is the thing though. You don't want to always be the pop-up queen either and have a business model that isn't in the grand strategy of things, right? Because that's a lot. Because what happens if Diamond gets sick and she can't go to these pop-up shops? What happens if something happens? You know what I'm saying? That's why it's got to be a system, okay? And you also have nothing for retention. You don't have any customer retention strategies. And you don't have a sales funnel. And what's a sales funnel? Let me tell you what that is. This is another secret that beauty brands are using. Much like the buyer's journey, as you can see, it's taking them through a series of steps, okay? Now, the best definition that I found of a sales funnel is from an old coach of mine, Marina. And she literally says a sales funnel is a vehicle that takes someone who doesn't know you to knowing you to then buying your products and services. Okay. That is a sales funnel. If you have not incorporated a sales funnel in your business, this is why you're struggling. And so the best definition of it, this is the best, but this is the only way to really maximize. You have to maximize this strategy. You have to use your systems and all of these different things, right? But a lot of times, a lot of y'all just stopping right here at attention and interest. You have nothing to drive them to take action. You have no other systems and processes, all of this in place to drive them down here to take action. And so you're about right here, and that's about it. And that's all she wrote, and that's it. And so you're wondering why they're not taking action. Okay, now that also brings me to the next point. Who has run ads before? Drop it in the chat. If you've run ads before and wondered why they didn't work, let me know in the chat. Comment ads if you've ran ads before and they didn't work, or you said they didn't work. Okay, I see one person that said ads. Anybody else? You boosted posts, you ran ads, and then you said they didn't work, or you tried to run them and obviously they didn't do anything for you. Okay. All right. So if you found yourself in that position, this is because when you run ads, you have to run, most of y'all run ads for the first two categories that don't have nothing else to move them through the process. You don't have a retargeting strategy. You don't have any other strategies where systems where they all go hand in hand. And so what's happening is your sales funnel and your ad strategy is supposed to reflect that as well. Your entire ad strategy should be built around this journey. So when you're just running ads, right, and you don't close that gap, you're just stopping right around here. You have nothing else to keep that going and to stay top of mind, because it takes someone about 13 times to see your brand before they ever even think about you or consider you. So again, you're running these ads, but you don't have a strategy to them, and you're wasting money. And you definitely wasting money if you're running ads and you don't have all of the three components that we talked about earlier: the unique selling position, and I just had a brain fart, and the content to go with it. It's only as good as what your business is. So if you ran ads and you don't have any of that stuff, now you just stopping right at the top and not bringing people through the pipeline to take action. Okay. Now, what does this look like for you? Okay. Let's take a look at what this looks like in action. Okay. So each time you want someone to move forward in the process, you're asking them to commit more. So if we look back at here, it's a bigger commitment the more they move through this pipeline. Okay, which is why it's a funnel. It's wide at the top and then it drops off at the bottom, because naturally, the bigger the commitment, the less people are going to take action. It takes nothing for them to see your ad. That's going to happen automatically. But then it takes a little bit more of a commitment for them to take action and interest and move through that pipeline. Okay. And so let's take a look back at this. You need attraction, capture, nurture. Okay. And so what's happening is, if you in your feelings and you don't understand these kind of concepts, your feelings get hurt because you like, all these people, they on my website and they not buying, or all these people follow me and they not buying, because you got to understand that it is a funnel. And the bigger the commitment, the harder that you got to work and the more you got to do in that aspect. But you can absolutely set up your systems to reflect that. Okay. So your attraction piece is your content, whether it's organic or paid. And you need to give them an opportunity to buy, an easy buying process, a trustworthy website, and really your brand got to be on point. All of those things that we talked about got to be on point to make it easy for them to buy. Then you capture. Okay, you have to collect their email or text messages, whichever option you decide to use, you have to capture that. You have to build your list. Then you need to have retaining strategies, because the money is in retention. It costs you more to get a new person in through your pipeline than it does to resell to someone that you already have. The problem with retention is most people don't have a retention strategy because they don't have a strategy at all. And so you're not actually retaining people. And the way to grow, remember, I told you guys the three key elements of actually growing a business is, one of them was volume, one of them was going up on your prices, but the other one is increasing the amount of time someone buys from you. And so you need a retention strategy. You need to build a relationship with them. And then the last piece is you need to continuously nurture them. So you need an initial welcome sequence that nurtures them. And then you need to continuously nurture your audience. Attraction, capture, nurture. That's what it looks like in action. If you don't have those strategies in place, it's why you're lost. So it's a science thing, right? Business is just as much science as it is anything else. And that's why you cannot run it off emotions alone. And when you have systems and processes in place, you can diagnose your business a lot easier to know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing in order to see the growth that you're looking for. Okay. This is why you just can't post on social media and try to get them to go straight from buying from you. And that's it. And so when you skip out those steps, again, you're not mastering consistency. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. And so you can use automation to assist with this. This is the best way to do it, is to automate your business. So no, you won't have to have a team right out the gate. You can set this up so that when you start building a team, you can scale, right? But you can set this stuff up as an automated process. You can be more intentional on social media to leverage the platform, and you're not sitting around posting all day on social media wondering how you're going to get sales or when you're going to get sales. And I'm going to show you guys how this works in action too. Okay, so why does this work? You're able to free up your time and let the entire functional systems and processes do the heavy lifting for you. You're better able to manage your energy and your efforts. You never have to wonder where your next customer is coming from because you know you got a system. You got a system down. You never have to guess if you're actually visible to your ideal customers, not having to spend all of your days and times constantly recreating, creating new content, thinking you're gonna do it. You're not heavily reliant upon pop-up shops, influencers, and brand ambassadors, which is much more expensive than what it costs for you to actually get the strategies to put this in place. My clients know we're not even talking about brand ambassadors and pop-up shops and influencers until you got this stuff down, because again, those are cherries on the top. That's like cherry on the top. You go to those, but you got a system. You're not reliant upon that. Your physical being there physically doesn't affect your coin, right? You have a system that sells for you 24/7 on autopilot. And you can spend literally, you don't even have to spend as much time to set once you set it up, but you don't have to do all that. And so let's just be real. I wasted a lot of money in the long run trying to do this, right? And learn this. It took for me to grow a 6-figure beauty brand really fast and make a lot of mistakes. And I was forced to learn even more. And I had to realize that no one was sharing this kind of information without paying less than $10K. Trust me, I've invested about $60K alone just for coaching and consulting, just for this business. Okay. Like, I know that until I started dropping $10K, I didn't start seeing this kind of help. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm being honest with you. I was forced to learn a lot of this. I knew no one that was sharing a lot of this. It was a lot of trial and error, and trial and error can be an expensive teacher, because if you calculate how much you've probably spent over the life of your business just trying to get it to grow, doing all of those things that we talked about, you probably done paid so much in pop-up shops. You probably done paid a lot wasting money on ads. You probably have spent a lot of money trying to figure a strategy out that works. Yes, I'm terrified of paying for trial and error. Exactly. It's a lot. It is a lot when you get trial and error. And unfortunately, it's an expensive teacher. So you have the people that's like, I ain't paying for no coach. I ain't paying for nobody to help me because I can learn this on my own. I can Google and YouTube. Let me also put y'all on game. I've told it before, but I only study under 7 and 8-figure earners, right? Because I'm trying to get there. And all of them will tell you, YouTube is just for beginners. YouTube and Google and trying to figure this out and trial and error is for beginners. When you're first learning, you just kind of starting, let me do a little research. But when you're really trying to grow your business, I don't even do that. As much as I invest in my business, I never be like, let me go on YouTube and learn it. Maybe I need YouTube to show me how to fix this one thing, or like it has its place to Google a certain thing or YouTube a certain thing. But I'm not depending on Google and YouTube and trial and error to help me grow my business. It don't work that way. And everybody that I study under, including myself, who is a successful business owner as well, my thought is, no, I'm paying to get premium. And so even with all the investing I've done, though, I noticed that there wasn't an all-inclusive program to put all of those pieces together. It just wasn't. All of these free webinars and free trainings and stuff like that, this is only the tip of the iceberg. And I'm giving you value, and it still doesn't even compare to what it actually looks like and takes to work with me, because Google and YouTube can't teach you what's up in here. It can't teach you my experience. It can't teach you how to not make those same mistakes that I've made, right? And so there's not a lot of programs that give you that all-inclusive sort of approach, not the ABC 1, 2, 3, not the all 3 phases of business. I don't see it. And so I can truly say this: it's really not as hard as you think to build, grow, and scale a successful beauty brand if you have the right strategies. But you have to ask yourself, why have I made it, or why am I continuing to make it harder than it has to be? How long can I continue making it harder on myself? because you're going to burn out eventually. You're going to give up eventually. You can't, like, no, it's not overnight, but it definitely can be accelerated. Your results can definitely be accelerated. It may not, I don't believe in overnight stuff. If anybody tell you they can give you 10K in 10 days, run, because it's a lie, right? But it definitely don't got to take you 5, 6, 10 years. I get clients who've been in business for 5 years with that same attitude of, you know, I'm just going to keep on trying. I'm going to just keep on. And so I just want y'all to know that. But I want y'all to know that I'm not just talking either. So one of my clients, Tarina, one of my amazing clients, Tarina, actually, she's representing for the Passionate Patricia. So shout out to the Patricias who said they were Patricia in the house earlier, okay? She is representing for the Passionate Patricias because she is a registered nurse and she is definitely a true vegan. She lives that lifestyle. She is dedicated to her craft. She's vested in her products and her crafts and all of these great things. And it was not enough for her to grow her brand, okay? And she was wasting a lot of time and energy. And she was in business for 2 years at a standstill. Okay. And now Tarina constantly sells out. She hasn't even started running her ads yet. Okay. And not only that, she don't post every day. And she only got 100 followers, I think. I think she only has 100 followers or just made 100 followers. She's technically kind of a new brand that she's relaunched. And she sells out, and now she's getting ready to make a bigger order because she's like, okay, I can't keep, like, now I have to up my inventory with 100 followers and don't post every day. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Tarina on and we're going to talk to her because this ain't just me. I'm not going, don't just take my word for it. Okay. Let's talk to somebody who has actually implemented these strategies. So Tarina, hey boo, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on tonight. I think it's so critical for people to see that, like, they have hope, like there's a chance, right? And so I definitely, like I said, I told them kind of a little bit about your situation and where you were before. And I'm so proud of you because you're just killing it. And I see you killing it all the time. And I just be like, oh.
Thank you.
And you're one of those clients, Tarina, who literally followed every step. You trusted me every step of the way. And you actually did the work. And that's why you are having the kind of results that you're having. Because I don't know a lot of people with 100 followers that's consistently selling out like that. Exactly. I just don't. Right. And so if you could, I'm going to let you talk, but where were you when you walked? Give them an idea of where you were when you walked into this program. Like, what were some of the things that you were doing and where were you at?
Yes. So I had a business with, skincare, vegan skincare line for 2 years. And I was manually sending emails, doing everything by hand, making everything by hand. And I wasn't receiving any sales, no matter how much I posted on social media or anything. And so I just felt like I needed some help. And I saw you come across Instagram and I was like, okay, this is my perfect chance. I got on the live training and I was all in at that point. That's why I got the notebook paper and everything and wrote down everything strategically so that I could follow your plan.
Good. Yeah. And I remember when we talked and you told me that you were doing everything so manually was some of the things that you were doing. I was like, girl, we got to get you some help. Like, seriously. Because I could hear how frustrated you were by the time that we actually started working together when you walked into this program.
Yes.
You were very, very, I can hear it in your voice and I knew you were tired.
Okay. Yes. And you talked about the trial and error, and that's where I was making a lot of trial and errors and spending a lot of money and not, receiving any profit from sales or anything. So
yes. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Is it at any time that you were going through the curriculum and we were working together to implement everything week after week, right? We got together week after week, we got on our calls, we did our thing. How helpful was that for you? Or do you feel like that's something, all of the stuff that you learned and all of the things that we implemented as we worked together, do you feel like that was something that you could have done alone?
Absolutely not. I could have not done it alone. And the weekly calls, the weekly Q&A
Mm-hmm.
was so helpful because it holds you accountable. You
Mm-hmm.
go through a module that's in the academy, and then like, within a week that you have time to answer the questions directly with you. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to implement, whatever answers you've given me. So those weekly calls helped me tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't have
Yeah.
done it alone.
Yeah. And in the curriculum, were like, how did you feel with the things that you were learning? Like, do you feel like, again, do you feel like it's stuff that you could have found on Google or YouTube?
Absolutely not. I think I said that every week. I was like, I would have never thought of that way. And the way it's set up is like you build your foundation with, little things like getting to know your ideal client, things that you don't think of,
Mm-hmm.
branding types, getting to learn your strengths and your weaknesses and how that goes into your business. I mean, it was just so many things every week with the modules. I was like, I would have never found this on Google
Yeah,
anywhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I remember you even saying, like, you were definitely, all of y'all would say it, but you were definitely like, it's no way. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
even know.
No way.
Like, every week, y'all would say something to me like, Fatima, oh my God. Like, y'all,
Yes.
it's because, that's experience that, this, it was created based off of all of my mistakes and failures and successes and trial and error and the investing that I did in myself as well. So it's definitely not just something that you would think about, or that you could find on any old Google. Okay.
Right.
How was it once you really started really seeing all of this stuff play out? Like, many people, they take all of these courses and they really don't see results because they, for one, a course is different than a program, but they don't really know how to implement the information. It's
Mm-hmm.
not inclusive. They don't see any, movement forward. So how did you feel once you actually, what was that moment like for you when you realized, like, oh shit, this works?
Yeah, I think it was like in the launch phase when I
Mm-hmm.
started receiving a lot of orders, just by implementing what I was taught in the academy. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like I only had, I guess, like 20 followers on my Instagram business page. And I was like, I have literally like completely sold out and haven't even launched my business yet. I haven't relaunched it just yet. It was just a pre-launch phase. So I realized right then and there that this actually works. And when I finally launched, I sold out again. I was like, this is not a coincidence. Like, this is actually working. This machine is actually working for my business. And so, like, I've done that, each month, and I sell out completely. And so now I'm in the process of, like, ordering like a bigger bulk of, products or bottles for my products. And, it's a little risk taking, but now that I have this machine from the Ambition Academy, I know that this will work and I will probably sell out again. Or I
Again.
will sell out.
Yeah, and this is what I love about you, though, because y'all can go follow her, go look at her page right now. You can go to at Best Girl Essentials. Is it at Best Girl Essentials?
Uh-huh.
If they look at your page, they would never know
Never
the
know.
way that you sell. Like, they would never know
Yeah.
because you don't fit the criteria that their limiting beliefs have told them that they need to make. Most people have been focused on their followers and all of those things, but for you, you don't fit the criteria. You just got 100 followers the other day.
Yes. The
Yes.
other day.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yes.
just got 100 followers. Exactly. You just got 100 followers. You just, again, you you really don't fit the quote unquote
Yeah.
profile of what a successful business like. And I talk to people all the time that may have 16,000 followers and still hadn't
Yeah.
had a sale in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they can definitely check out your page and see,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
see for themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't even started running ads yet. That's another thing. I was so focused on getting, this many followers. I know I can reach this many people, but I mean, I sold out with 30, 50 followers, no ads. So that shows you right there how the process works if you implement it. Like, I can't stop talking about it. I wish I would have joined the Ambition Academy like way sooner.
Yes. That I hear that all the time. And I know it's because, again, we don't think about it. Us as a people too, the way that we've been taught, we're naturally skeptical of different things. And so I get it. But exactly. And that's what I love. Again, you don't meet the typical profile and they just don't understand it. So I'm sure you felt great when you kept selling out. And I'm really so proud of you for really doing the work, because I can give the strategies all day, but you did the work, and that is what made the difference. It's the work that you did. That was all you. You know what I'm saying? You were just someone attached and aligned to me stepping in my purpose, doing what I do. But you were an amazing client as well. Well, actually, go ahead and let them know you decided to come back as an alumni.
Oh yeah, definitely coming back as an alumni. Definitely.
So, yeah, Tarina, even though I told her she does not need me anymore, trust me, she just still feels like she just wants to still work with me. So she is coming back to join me for a little bit again as an alumni. To just kind of she misses the support. And so also one other thing I want to point out, especially as Black businesses, okay, one of the things I want to point out is that we are told a lot of times, like, oh, people won't support us, they don't want to support my Black business. But tell them about the remarks that you've gotten from your customers about how your business is set up and how your business is run and the whole totality of everything.
Yes. So I've been having like a lot of feedback about, there's a stigma about Black businesses, and people have been saying like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like you're doing excellent. Like there's like no hangups or this, that, and the third with you being a Black business owner. Even though like my prices are premium because, the work that I have to do to put into the products, like they're buying it and they're loving like the customer service. Everything is like a well-oiled machine, basically, like you say, and they noticed that.
Yes, I definitely was loving when you showed me the feedback that you've been getting from your customers about like, man, like, because it don't have to be a stigma if we do this right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be a stigma if you do it right. And so that's what happens when you have systems and you have a positioning and all of that, because baby, guess what? Her products, you're not paying less than, I think it's like $40 for one of your shampoos or something like that. Yeah. Yes. She's not cheap, but she's selling out as a Black woman business owner that's practically a new brand.
Yes.
So it can be done. And that's the point that I'm making, is that you have this example. That's why, thank you so much, Serena, for coming on here tonight, because they can look up to you regardless. And my thing is, if you work with me or not, regardless, it can be done. Just get the right help, right?
Yeah,
you set it up right, it can be done. And so that's why I'm really super proud of you. I'm glad to have you back as an alumni. And so, and thank you for coming on here tonight, because people need that hope, people need that hope, and because they have a lot of limitations because of what they've been doing and how it hasn't worked, but people need to see that, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, definitely.
I appreciate you. And again, I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to hear sold out again. And now I got to order even more, every time. So thank you. You have a good one, Boo. I'll talk to you next week, actually.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, let me figure out. Okay. I think I did it. Okay. Perfect. Let me make her. Okay. Got it. As a regular guest. All right, got it. So you guys, how did that make you feel to really hear from someone that there is hope, that there's hope, that you don't have to do all of that? I wanted y'all to know that, like, you ain't got to do all that. Like, it ain't got to be that hard. The only difference between you and her is effectively implementing the techniques that we talked about tonight. Okay, that is it. And her mindset. Tarina trusted the process. She trusted me. She did the work. She trusted in herself to say, you know, she recognized I need help and I need to invest in that help. And so she recognized that, and she got the help that she needed. And again, it's a system. Like Marissa said, so happy that it's a real system out there. It is. Like, these people just selling y'all this, they selling y'all fake, false stuff. And it's a true system out there. It is truly a system out there. So I'm really just excited that I'm excited for her. And she's only one of my clients. There's other clients with similar stories. You see what I'm saying? She's just one, but it's a real system out there. And so I just wanted y'all to know, because people get on here and they talk a lot on these trainings and these webinars, but they don't be talking, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, they don't be talking. So that's what I'm here to just put my money where my mouth is, right? Okay, so we are getting closer to these giveaways. Okay, now with the right support, you can, obviously, you can do it. The best part is you don't have to have, as you were able to see with Tarina, you don't have to have a large following. You don't have to be a celebrity or influencer. You don't have to burn yourself out every day. Because like I said, as you can see, she don't post every day. She has a system. Okay, so let's review what you guys have learned tonight. You've learned the 4 roadblocks keeping you stuck. You've learned the secret marketing techniques big brands are using to convert their customers. You've learned my actual proven framework. You've heard how this works from a client live, an actual client. You've learned why you need all of this to work together. And you've learned why not being a premium beauty brand is costing you, because you're going to be stuck in a cycle. Okay, that is why. Okay, and so again, the 3 key components: unique selling position, irresistible content, marketing machine. That's it. You should not be buying 4 and 5 different courses. You shouldn't be buying all these separate things and trying to get an Instagram strategy here and a this strategy there and a Facebook ad strategy there, because if you've been down that road, it means that there's something wrong with that program, or was it the right solution for you, or it's something wrong with that program or your implementation. But either way, you have not gotten the support that you needed in that aspect. And so you don't know all of this stuff. It's really hard to try to do it when you don't see the full picture. And I get it, right? No one is really, making big way. Like you can't, we don't know what we don't know. And so I can assure you, though, it won't happen if you keep doing the same things that you've been doing. Now that I do know. We already crunched the numbers to show you how that is not going to work. You can't Google and YouTube it out. We talked about that. You won't get it anywhere with free strategies or half strategies that these people selling y'all. And I'm telling you, it's just, so it ain't even about me. You need to get the real system. Like you really need to, like, that's the only way you're going to see something different. And so you're probably wondering, how do I implement all of this? Where do I begin? Fatima, can you help me with this? We're about to get in a Q&A. How do you help with this? What do you offer? Okay. All of these questions, if you're asking this, means that I achieved what I set out to do. I have given you clarity and direction so you can begin channeling your energy effectively. Okay. So whether it's me or anybody else, because I don't pressure or force people to work with me, what is it? You need to think about, what is it costing you right now? Do the math of what is it costing you right now, not doing something different, not getting the help that you need. So can I help? Absolutely. But I don't help everybody because everybody isn't a good fit. And that's why you don't see at the end of my trainings where you got the sales page where you can check out me lying, telling you if you don't join now in the next 24 hours, I ain't going to be able to work with you, because that's a lie. I don't do the fake urgency. I don't say here's 50 million bonuses and all of that if you sign to work with me. I don't do all of that because I don't have to. And I'm just keeping it real. Like, everybody isn't a good fit. And I stand on my word when I said I'm not asking anybody for any money today. I'm not. Even if you said, Fatima, take my money, I'm not. I stand on that I told you that this wouldn't be that, but obviously it would be a disservice if I didn't tell you how I accomplished this very briefly. So all of the clients that you've heard from, they have been into it's called Beauty Boss Accelerator 2.0. In this program, we show you how to implement everything that we talked about. We work closely with you. There's no guesswork. You get everything. I trim the fat from all the junk that's on the internet to help you actually move forward. We're doing step by step, and you're getting my support and my team support every step of the way. You work with a branding coach and a designer who is also a part of my staff. And she helps with branding, and she is an amazing branding expert. We help you set up your funnels so you don't have to stress about trying to figure that out and set up the technology piece. You're going to learn all of the things that we talked about tonight, and we basically help you implement that. Okay. Now, for some of y'all, again, I get some people, y'all one of them people that you just, if you don't see it, you don't believe it, whatever. And I get that. So I am going to, let me stop sharing here for a second. I am going to give y'all, let me find it. Where is it? Okay. Let me give y'all just a look inside very briefly of what it looks like. Everything is laid out nicely, is step by step by step. Each thing that you need to know, it is step by step by step. Everything from supply chain, from branding to pricing your products effectively so that you are priced perfectly, to setting up your systems, to learning about social media, to you're having a social media strategy, to your content strategy, what to say, how to say it. You get templates on the kind of content you should be creating. You learn how to effectively launch your business with the strategies that we talked about, how Tarina was able to sell out. You learn how to effectively set up your marketing machine. And then there's like a million bonuses in here. Like, you even learn how to possibly be in the press. You learn all kinds of different things. And so there is a lot in here. And but it's action. It's not fluff. And that's just what it is. So I just wanted to show y'all a quick look inside. And again, I show you all of that. It is the only program I can stand on it for beauty brands that is a comprehensive program of its kind to account for all of those critical elements that we talked about tonight. That actually, not only, I have clients who've applied these techniques to multiple businesses to really help you build lifelong strategies that you can translate into other businesses. It accounts for building, growing, and scaling. And so I'm not here to pressure nobody, because that ain't what I do. That ain't how I roll. Because if I got to pressure you to work with me, I got to pressure you to do the work. So that's just what it is. But I know that I've given you guys a strategy. If you feel like you have learned something new tonight, go ahead and put it in the chat for me. If you've learned something new, put it in the chat that you've learned something new. Boost me up a little bit. Let me know I've done my job. Okay. Got it. All right. So because I told y'all I don't do the sales thing, the only thing that you can do is, Kira's about to put in the link here. I learned that I didn't know everything. That's funny. Okay, perfect. So Kira is about to drop in the chat the link. You can book a call with me, because then I can diagnose your situation individually, find some time that works for you. And on that call, what we will do is simple, okay? I'm going to find out where you are and diagnose your current situation, okay? I'm going to give you direct feedback on what's specifically holding you back, because it's a lot of things that can hold you back, but everybody has different things holding them back. And only if it makes sense do we discuss what that looks like to move forward. Because like I told y'all before, I don't invite everybody into my program. And if Tarina was still on here, she would tell you that. She knows that, because I rather have quality than quantity. Same for you guys as a premium business. So all I'm going to do is tell you what's what. And if it makes sense, only if it makes sense, then do we talk about, okay, here's what the next steps are and here's what it looks like. But I've definitely been on these calls and told somebody, I don't think you're a good fit, because I'm serious about who I work with. So again, all I have left to say is stop looking at the cost of everything and start thinking about what's the cost if you look up next year and you're in the same position that you were in right now, a year from now. And how would that make you feel if you looked up and realized that you were in the same position? So book your call if you're serious about your next steps. If you want to get even more clarity, talk to me one-on-one specifically, where I can say, hey, this is what you're doing wrong. This is how we can. If you want that kind of support, go ahead and book your call. Go ahead and book your call. Let's talk. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can help you out, if it makes sense. Okay? If it makes sense. So Marissa already has a call book. She says, can't wait for our call. Go ahead and book y'all call, because I only do a few of those a week. And that's not fake urgency. Okay? That's not fake urgency at all. I only do those calls on the first a few days out the week, because I have to devote time to my current clients, right? So let's get into who these winners are. Let me check with my lovely assistant, who is doing a great job at this moment. Kira, if you want to go ahead and Skype me and let me know who the winners are, and then I will make that announcement. Y'all made it to the end. So we're going to get into, okay. So the first winner for the, let's start with the free coaching call first. She's giving me the names. She's giving me the names. Can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll? Okay. Hold on. She's calculating. Okay. All right. So let me make sure these people are actually still on here, because they got to be on the call. Let's see. She's on here. Okay. That person isn't, so I'm going to go to the next person. All right. So we got, for the free coaching call, okay? For the free coaching call, we have, okay, she wasn't on here. Who was it? For the free coaching call, we have Stephanie Young. Oh, wait. Yeah, Stephanie Young. I've already said it now. So for the free coaching call, Stephanie Young is the winner in that. So yay. If you're like, Stephanie, you are on here, right, girl? I don't see nothing in the chat. Let me see. Okay. All right. Stephanie Young. Okay. Okay, Stephanie, we will get together. Make sure we'll shoot you an email for that. Now, for the scholarship, can I get some drum rolls, please? Please, 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 for the scholarship. For the scholarship, we have Marilyn. I want to make sure I pronounce this right. The Fonses, I can't pronounce it. I ain't even gonna try to butcher it. So Marilyn, you have won a scholarship into the program, but we're going to talk about kind of the specifics and all of that kind of stuff and what it looks like. And of course, make sure you're a good fit. We do have backups if you're not a good fit. So for those of you who didn't win, it's still a chance out there. So trust me. But other than that, again, you need to be on my calendar regardless. Okay. If you have a beauty brand and you are struggling, You need to be on my calendar. Someone said, I've noticed that the time stop at 3 p.m. Any calls after 5. So I probably need to update for some of those. So if you could, who is this trying to book? Danielle. Okay, Danielle, I'm gonna have my team member Anna, reach out to you, and she is going to try to work with you on finding a better time that we can find to kind of work with you on that. So Anna, my team member Anna, I don't think she's on tonight. She is going to actually be the one to help you out, so we can figure out some times and kind of figure out oh, Anna is here. All right. So Anna is going to take down your name. Anna, that was Danielle. Okay. I see some people booking some calls on here. Yeah, I see some people booking calls. So Marilyn and Stephanie is for the free coaching call. Marilyn is for the scholarship. Okay, I see Shay just booked. Thank you, Shay. Danielle, I'm going to have Anna reach out to you first thing tomorrow, and we're going to try to figure out how to work some things in my schedule and swing it so that we can get you taken care of. Marilyn, we will reach out to you to kind of go through, schedule some time to talk to you about the thing that we are going to work with you on. And the rest of y'all, again, I see Marissa has a call booked already. So yeah, I've already talked to Tiffany. Okay, so we're gonna reach out. Kira, if you could make a note of each person who was what, because I will forget, honey. You know my memory is bad. And so we will do that. And y'all, the real MVP for staying to the end anyway. So that's that. Now what we're gonna do, now I'm opening the floor up for questions. We're gonna do some Q&A. We're gonna do some Q&A. And I'm gonna take questions that y'all have about anything y'all learned tonight. Go ahead and put them in the Q&A. I believe somebody named Carmen's hand has been, wow. Carmen, do you have a question that I can answer? Any questions on these concepts or anywhere where y'all were stuck, or you were just like, I want a little bit more clarity on that? I got questions. Now, I know I didn't do that thorough of a job that y'all ain't got no questions. So let me know. I might even take you off mute and let you ask your question. Let me see. I came to Zoom a little late. No problem. Do you have a question about anything, Carmen? It doesn't matter. Do you have questions about your business in general or anything that y'all have a question? Y'all gotta take advantage of this now, because honey, I don't be doing this. Okay, so let me write. I got one question. Let me see. Let me go ahead and go right in here. And I'm about to start. Go ahead and drop them. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go live so that way I can do a 2-for-1 and answer these questions. All right, so we got, okay, go ahead and drop y'all questions in the Q&A box. I have one in here. But go ahead and drop those questions for me. I see Stephanie has a question and Shay. Okay, drop questions in the Q&A. Okay, I see a few. Okay, so the first question that I see is being an LLC or an S Corp important? Yes and no. I'll say why. Because sometimes some people rush to get an LLC and don't understand the responsibility of that yet. They have not, they get an LLC when they haven't even kind of established what their brand is going to be like, what their business, like they don't even know if they should even have if they're even at that point yet, because now you got to have an accountant, you got all these taxes, things you got to worry about once you become an LLC versus a sole proprietor. And so sometimes some people rush to that and they're not really willing completely to invest just yet in what the responsibility that comes with it. But absolutely, yes, you're going to need it as you grow your business. There are absolutely some entrepreneurs who are extremely successful with only literally being a DBA / sole proprietor. But when you have beauty products, this is why it's important. True enough, an LLC, it's a lot of stipulations with that. But true enough, it does not necessarily completely protect you from nothing happening at all, right? It doesn't mean you won't get sued. It just means your personal assets will not be the guarantor in being sued in that, right? And so what I will say is when you decide to be an LLC, when you're in a beauty brand, because a lot can go wrong. If somebody's face breaks out or something like that, a lot can really go wrong when you are a when you have a beauty brand. Let's just face it. And people love to sue and get crazy. It is really important that you have that for that reason. There are some different things that come with S Corps versus LLCs. You would need to consult some like an attorney or an expert on that aspect to making sure that you choose the right structure for your business. But I would say yes, it's important. Once you realize you're going to take this business serious and you don't no longer want it to be an expensive hobby, then I would say yes, because if you're not making money, it's just a hobby, right? So for some, that's why I say it's not necessarily completely like rush and do it, because Tarina is just now getting her LLC, as she, and you see she's consistently sold out, but now she realizes, okay, I'm making money. I can invest in the responsibility that comes with that. And now that I'm bigger, I need to protect myself. But LLCs do not protect your business name and things like that. So getting trademarked is extremely important in that aspect. And other elements of protection. So yes, they're important once you realize you want to take it seriously. Let me know if that helped you, Marilyn, in the chats. All right, moving on to the next one. I'm not that active on Facebook. Should I be? So here is the thing. The platform that you choose, it needs to be based off of where you feel like, one, you can show up best. Okay. And two, it needs to be, you need to choose one that will be your primary platform. Okay. So obviously when you start running ads and advertising and things like that, you got to have a business page set up in your ads account through Facebook in order to advertise through Instagram ads. And Facebook ads, when you learn it the right way, actually it actually gives you the cheat code to being in front of a lot of other outlets, not just on the Facebook or Instagram app. Okay. So I'm not that active on Facebook. I'm much more active on Instagram. That's my lane. And that's kind of more my area, but I have a business Facebook page because I need that in order to advertise and do things effectively even on Instagram. Right. So I think you need to think about it is, where can I best show up? If you don't best show up on Instagram, don't try to split all your attention trying to do all of this different stuff of, trying to figure all that kind of stuff out. Like, don't even try, just use it for what you need to. Double cross it. So when you post on Instagram, let it post automatically on your Facebook page and be done. Right. But if you focus more of your attention on, if you're better on Instagram, then fine. If you have the right strategy, it won't matter how active you are on Facebook. You can just literally share both of the content on there. So that's my recommendation. Where can you best show up? Some people do a lot better focusing more on their Facebook page, and some people do a lot better focusing on their Instagram. I am an Instagram person as well. And a lot of my other clients, most of my clients, they actually use Instagram. And I believe beauty brands do a little better on Instagram, just from my experience. So no, just leverage it when you post on Instagram, have it automatically go to your Facebook and call it a day. And then you implement different strategies, you'll be okay. All right. Moving on. Do you think it's better to focus on one platform? Okay, Shay. So absolutely, just focus on one. One needs to be your primary platform. You might show up in other, you're obviously going to show up in other places. But your main platform, you need to choose one. If you don't like IG, it don't need to be your main focus. It's not going to be the one you nurture as much, right? It's important to have them, but the one that you focus the most on should be that one. It's really kind of hard to split your attention. There's effective ways that you can do it, but the way that I teach social media strategies to my clients, again, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. You choose the one. I personally feel like for a lot of beauty brands, Instagram is a little bit, you can do a lot more and you can build relationships a little bit better on Instagram, on an Instagram business page. But that's my personal preference, and most of my clients, that's where they see the most success. But focus on whichever one that you feel like you will best show up. And that's what really matters, because you have to show up regardless. So if it's Facebook, it's Facebook. If you don't like IG, it don't gotta be IG. Now they got it to where you can post on Facebook and it'll automatically go on your IG page, which makes it even better. If you're not a big Instagram poster, if that's not the one that you want to nurture, but you would rather nurture your Facebook, just go ahead and put all of your energy into the one platform. All right, moving on. How do I know if I should stay or change the lane I'm in? Because I haven't seen growth, but I also haven't applied this strategy yet. Okay, so what I would say is, it's never, this is a lot of times a mindset thing too. It's never the lane that you're in unless you just don't want to do that lane. If you just absolutely are like, this is not for me. Like for me, when I had a beauty brand, as much as I loved hair, it just wasn't for me. I was successful at it, but it just wasn't for me. I only stopped because that's what I wanted to do. However, I would never say don't change your lane because you think that there's no opportunity for you to grow in it. Because if you apply the right strategies, there is an opportunity for growth. There is an opportunity to get to the next level, but you just got to do something different. So I would not base my decision to change the lane that I'm in based off of if I'm not seeing anything different, if you've been doing the same things over and over again. So if you've been doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results, and it's going to be easier to feel like I should change my lane that I'm in, right? Because it's not working. But if you do something different and you get the right strategy, you will be successful. It's all in your mind, right? The business doesn't give up unless you do, in your mind. So if you're in that space in your mind where you're like, I don't even know if I want to do this, that's something totally different. That's the energy that you're putting in your business. If you're passionate about what you do, and this is what I tell my clients all the time, if you're passionate about what you do, you will stop at nothing until you finally get it right. Meaning you will invest in if you got to change something and get a new strategy, that's what you're going to do. But you're not going to stay stuck. Like you're not seeing growth if you're in the same situation because you haven't done something different. So I would not give up on my business no matter what, if it's what I want to do and I'm passionate about. Because if that's the case, I would have gave up a long time ago. I wouldn't even be sitting here tonight helping you guys if that was kind of my mind and my thought process. But because it's like, no plan B, it ain't none of that. This got to work. I don't care who I got to invest in, how many times I got to invest, what I got to invest in, the strategies that I get. I'm not going to stop until I get the right strategy. And so that's kind of where your mind, it's a mindset thing. It can grow, but it will only grow if you want it to grow and if you do something different to make it change. So that's only a question for you. Don't answer that question based off of lack of growth, but answer it based off of, is this really what I want to do? That is really the question. That's really the answer at that point. I wouldn't give up unless I've exhausted everything. But if it's meant for you and you're supposed to do it, honey, it'll work out, period. So it will work out. All right. How many email sequences do you need for a welcome series? So a welcome, it depends on your type of products and your industry. What I would recommend, and all of my clients, is they get a series of 3 to 5 welcome series, because it is the nurturing process. And not only that, with the welcome series, it literally, let me put it to you this way, it is what we call like indoctrinating them, if I'm pronouncing that right, into your business. Okay, so 3 to 5 for a welcome series is all you really need. I wouldn't do more than that. And then I would consistently nurture my audience. So that is what I would do there. All right. Okay. So Marilyn says, so in other words, I need to establish my brand before registering my business. I would say yes. I would say yes, because there's a lot of, so her question is, should she establish her brand before registering her business? I would say yes. Like, make sure it's what you really want to do, because I know they get tired of all these inactive LLCs, and then you got to go through a process with trying to say that this is no longer active. If you decide this ain't what you want to do, make sure it's what you want to do, establish it, get the strategies going, and get, make sure that it's validated, that you're going to get sales and things like that. And then you can kind of move on into establishing, when you're like, okay, I'm ready to accept the responsibility that it takes to run this business. So yes, I would say that. I'm working with the chemist on my product, so I don't have a time frame. What should I be doing while I'm in this phase? So April asked, I'm working with a chemist on my product. I do not have a time frame. So obviously, if there, well, not obviously, or you wouldn't be asking that. I'm just used to saying that word, so forgive me. But what you should be doing is validating your offer. So this is the thing about products. A lot of people do this in reverse. They automatically say, let me go and work on this product and then put it out there. But you have not validated your products. You haven't even validated, you have to validate your entire product suite. You haven't validated to see who you're targeting, if they even want that, what they actually want, what they actually need. Market research is highly recommended during this time, because you need to make sure that who you're launching this to is what you need. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's, I know it's expensive. So now what you're going to have to do is validate what you have, but you need to be understanding who you're going to be targeting. You need to be coming up with your position. All of those things that we kind of talked about in the beginning of establishing your position, establishing who you are, your brand, understanding the position that you're going to play. All of those different things is the things that you should be doing now, while you're waiting for your product. So a lot of my clients, when they walk into the program, a lot of them have already been launched and they have all of these different products. And so what happens is they go and they come in and they start doing that work in the beginning and realize, like, oh crap, like I don't even need to sell that. And I was supposed to sell this. And my client actually prefer, like my customers actually need this. And so they end up changing their entire product suite, which is why I make them do that work. And then we evaluate their current product suite first to make sure that that is even going to be a good fit for what you've discovered in your foundational work. So that is really critical and key as well. But if you're already working on a product and you probably paid a lot of money for that, in that aspect, you should be validating who would want that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would actually even want that? All right. Okay, that makes sense. I've been starting my business. Okay, so someone says, I've been starting my business for a year now with inventory, DBA, and everything, but no success because of no good structure or plan. I'm just lost and ready to start being successful. Absolutely. It can absolutely happen. Like I tell people all the time, if you have the right strategy, you can make it work. If you have the mindset and all of the things that we talked about, you will be successful. Okay. And you will be able to sell your inventory. So one of the things that my clients do, they learn about inventory management. They learn about all of these different things. And so there's a way to evaluate what you have. We can kind of help you figure out ways to kind of recoup if you don't no longer sell those products. There's a lot that we do to change it, but you don't want to be stuck with inventory for too long. That's money. You see what I'm saying? So if you're in a position, for anybody else who's listening, if you've been in a position where you're constantly stuck with inventory, that is a sign that you're missing the pieces, that something isn't landing with who it needs to be landing with. So you got to do something different. So that is the number one sign, if you're getting stuck with inventory, that the only way that you will get somewhere is to do something different. Okay. So I hope that answers your question or response to that comment. Can you do the training if you don't have a product to sell yet? So Carmen asked, so here's the thing. I do work with new brands if you are dedicated, right? Like if you are someone who is heavily motivated and you are dedicated and determined to not make all of the mistakes that most people make in the beginning, and you just want to try to get it right on the first time, absolutely, we can help you. We can even help you figure out products to sell in terms of that. We can help you with that. I primarily help brands that are already in existence because typically they are the ones that are kind of ready to work. And sometimes people who have new businesses, honestly, there's not enough. Like if you've been in the same situation for a year and you finally get that help you need, you're a little bit more motivated to do the work. What I've found in my experiences with new businesses, brand new, no strategy businesses, is that sometimes they're not as motivated. So yes, we can work with you if you do not have a product to sell and help you. As long as you're motivated and ready to do the work, it's still set up that way to help you build your foundation and all of the elements that you need to be successful. So I hope that answers your question. So if you are wondering, yeah, go ahead and book a call with me if you feel like you're serious and you're dedicated to really taking your business serious. Like this is something you actually want to do. So you can do it even if you don't have a product yet. We can help you. All right, do we need an LLC before I book a call with you? No, you do not need an LLC before you book a call with me. That is a good question because I do like brands who've been around for a while to actually help them. And most of them typically already come with an LLC, but as you heard from Tarina earlier, she is selling out and she's just now getting an LLC. So it's not a requirement. I don't teach you how to register and all of that in there. I operate not on that assumption, but it's super easy. We can walk you through it. I can walk you through on the phone with it. It's not a problem at all. Okay, I see y'all booking these calls, honey. All right. I recently moved out of the country due to the military. Should I focus on local sales versus selling to the US? I'll be here for 2 years. So that is a good question. I would say it's totally your preference in that aspect. I would say if you plan on coming back to the US, I would not limit myself. You might want to think about in terms of your inventory and getting your orders over and the shipping and all of that kind of stuff to sell it to people in the US. But if you're over there for 2 years and you establish your brand only over there, you come back over here and now you got to reestablish because you got to hope that you are establishing like they don't know you, if that makes sense. They'll really only focus, if you're going to sell over there, you got to focus your efforts over there. So if you know that you're planning on coming back to the US, I would definitely not sell over here and market to them and build my brand up. That's just me personally, unless now you do have a couple of options if you do get the right strategy. And if you're going to be over there for 2 years and you want to build it up over there, I don't see anything wrong with it. You could absolutely apply those same techniques to the US and start marketing in the US, and you will have social proof, as we call it. You will have people who can give you testimonials and all of that. That makes it easier to apply the same techniques over here and actually start to sell. So you just got to be mindful of the product differences. So certain countries don't require certain countries require you to have certain things in their products that one country might not want you to have. There may be something that the US doesn't allow that they allow you to have over there. So that's also something that you want to think about, is Do I want to, maybe have to change my product? So that's kind of something to think about. Now you and I'm not a huge drop shipper person without people testing these things long enough, but you can find someone that can do drop shipping for you after you've tested the product long enough. So while you're over there overseas, you can still be marketing your business and selling and growing your brand in the US and have someone drop ship your products or have a warehouse fulfill it or something like that. It depends on the product, so that you can still have that US base if that's where you're going to be after you're gone for 2 years. Let me know if that answers your question. I hope that answered your question on some things that you can do, because drop shipping might be an option so that you can build your brand here as well. But again, being mindful for the product differences and things like that it takes. Okay, so this is a good question. When do you know your brand is ready for ads? This is such a great question. So if your brand is ready for ads, the biggest determining factor is, are you getting consistent sales organically first? Hello, for my Instagram people watching live, I'm on the live training here and I'm answering Q&A. So yes, when your business starts to get consistent sales organically, that is a sign that you're ready for ads. The reason why is because there are 3 different products. There are 3 different audience types. When you start, you got cold, hot, and warm. So if you're not selling organically to warm and hot audiences, that means that there is something missing that's not really resonating with your people. There's something missing. So if you start running ads, then now you're just broadcasting your problem on a larger scale. And now these same people, if they're not buying organically, they're not going to buy from you, when you start running ads, because they don't know you. And when you run ads, you want to make sure all your ducks in a row, period. So, because ads are for scaling, not for growth. So you have to already kind of have some level of growth, of a slope going upwards before you start running ads. A lot of people, the problem is they start running ads and they think it's a quick fix to solve their problem. And then they end up, again, wasting money. But the biggest indicator is if you start to see a slope upwards in growth in your business, and it's starting to be a little bit more consistent organically. So there's some strategies of how you can run ads effectively, but it's some different strategies too that goes with it. But the biggest indicator is consistent upward growth. So I hope that answers your question. All right. With an online business, should I wait until after sales revenue to start with purchasing software to manage the sales? No, because you actually truly need systems to grow your business. Like, you need systems, and that's just the bottom line. So what you will want to do is make sure that you know exactly which software that you should be purchasing. I also always recommend that all of my clients, all of them, do your free trials first, and then start paying for systems and software until you find the right one that's worth for you. But you're going to need systems in the beginning. That's just some of those startup costs that you're going to really need. Now, the fancier the system, if you want to start buying all these fancy systems that you might not necessarily need yet, that's different. You need to get the systems that you need. And as you grow, your systems will start to grow with you. Because, for instance, you might join and there may be a plan that says, there may be a plan that is for like at this level, but then as you grow, they have other levels. So you can grow with your systems, but you don't want to not purchase software and systems just because you're not getting sales. Like, that's going to be a part of building out your sales pipeline. You just want to be mindful of the ones that you get and get the ones that are a right fit for where you are in your business. And most systems always have a guideline of where you're at and so forth in your, in your business to get a certain software, right? So that's what I would recommend, but it is important in order to go. Okay. Okay, perfect. So the person who asked the question about that. All right, where can I book the call? So my assistant is putting a link. Kira, if you don't mind dropping the link for me in the description again so that they can book their call. She's gonna drop the link for you to book the call. And you can actually click the link once she puts it in here again. If you don't mind, Kira, going ahead and y'all, let me shout out my team real quick while she's putting that link in there. Listen, they go above and beyond for me. The fact that they're even on here tonight, and one of them didn't even have to be on here, tells you how much I appreciate them and how hard they go, and they work really hard for me. And that's why they are getting the day off tomorrow, because that's just how much I appreciate them. So shout out to my team, Kira and Anna, who are on here. But Kira's just dropped the link in the chat to book the call, so you can go ahead and book your call. Once you book that call, answer a few questions, and then we will be scheduled. Now I do know, okay, I was trying to make sure we got everybody else. All right. I think I answered all the questions, ladies. Thank y'all for joining. Congratulations to the giveaway winners. Y'all made it through the whole night. And y'all did good. Okay, so my team has been posting it in the chat. So if you have not booked your call, what you waiting for? If you serious and you ready to do something different, what are you waiting for? Okay. And I've been seeing calls coming through booking. So I think, let me see. Yeah, I got a few calls scheduled already. Again, book your call. Let's talk. If you want to talk about what we can do to work, you're welcome, y'all. You're welcome. I'm happy to do it. Happy to really do this. This is what I do. This is what I love. I'm glad that y'all feel like y'all got something valuable out of tonight. If you missed parts of the training, or you missed different elements, or you're just now kind of coming in and joining, please stay on the lookout. I am going to put the replay in. I'm actually going to send out the replay so that y'all can watch the replay, and that people who did not make it or attend will actually be able to watch the replay. So the replay is coming out. If you want to review some things, remember some things, it's only going to be available. I'm only going to leave the replay available for 3 days. So that's it. 3 days, and that's it. So if you are late, or you were late, or you missed parts of the training, because all of it is super important. If you were here the whole time, you can attest to how important each element was, because they all built upon each other in the training. So if you missed parts of the training, just check your email. We will be sending the replay out to all of those who have missed it. So other than that, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I was mad. I ordered something from Chick-fil-A, and my order I didn't get to get my order in time. I ate all day. So your girl gotta go, and it's late. And I appreciate y'all for even staying this whole time and being engaged. So y'all have a good night.